This is the complete beginner to pro guide on editing in Adobe Premiere Pro. I have been using this editing software professionally for well over 6 years, so this will put you on a fast track in editing. This is the YouTube version of Yak Academia. If you want to get all of the assets, all of the sound effects, videos, and everything that's needed, go to yashuakhan.com/Yak Academia. So sign up today and get your first 30 days free to get the full experience. So I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let's get it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Yak video editing workshop where we are going to be going over everything in Adobe Premiere Pro, and I will teach you everything that you need to know to be a great editor. So these videos are going to be in a lot of different clips, so don't be intimidated when you see a lot of different clips about different parts of how to edit. It's all going to tie in perfectly. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you guys how to import all of your videos into Adobe Premiere Pro quickly and efficiently. So let's go ahead, and with the downloads that we have downloaded, we're going to open that up in our hard drive. We're going to click Yak Academia. We're going to go to Yak Video Editing Downloads, and then the Yak Videos for Premiere Pro. And we have here the Yak's Hilltop Vlog clips. First things first, organization is key. So we're going to look into our clips here inside the Yak's Hilltop Vlog clips. So we see here, if we press Command A, we have 18 videos here, 18 different clips. And I shot this horizontally, as you can see. This is for YouTube and for Facebook, the long-term video purposes. And we see here that 2 of the videos aren't horizontal. So sometimes when you pull out your iPhone and you switch to horizontal and press record, as soon as you switch, the phone is kind of slow, so it doesn't organize it automatically. So sometimes we have to do it ourselves. So if we click this and look here, we'll see that it is vertical, but it's shot horizontally. It's kind of confusing. So we're going to go down to rotate left. Make sure you guys follow the same step with me. Going to click that video again, rotate left again. And then we're going to click that video 3rd time and rotate it again a 3rd time. And then that video should be chilling. So now next we're going to do the same thing here. Me and my wife here, we're going to go ahead and rotate that left. We're going to rotate it left again. And we're going to rotate it left one last time. And there we go. That's perfect. All right, so now we're going to press Command A, highlight all of them. And then we're going to right click. And then we're going to rename this. We have renamed it to Yak's Hilltop Vlog Clips. And keep in mind too, remember to rename everything in this same format I have here. So we have it in format, we have the name format and name and index. We have where as after name. And then we have our custom format, what we just named it to, Yak's Hilltop Vlog Clips. And then we have the start numbers at number 1. So we can go ahead and click rename. It's gonna rename all of it for us. It should take no time. Don't be alarmed if one of the videos disappears, it just takes it out so it can rename it. And we have all 18 here. Perfect. So now next, we are going to jump right into Adobe Premiere. So now that we have all of our things organized, organization is key. Now that we can open up Adobe Premiere Pro. Bam. At the bottom there. All right, we are now in Adobe Premiere Pro. Now at the top left, we're going to click New Project. So we just renamed the project name to Yak Hilltop Vlog, and then we're going to change the location. We're going to make sure we change that to our hard drive. Let's go to our hard drive. Let's go to Yak Academia, Yak Video Editing Downloads, Yak Videos for Adobe Premiere, and we're going to create a folder in this folder in Yak Videos for Premiere Pro. New folder here, and we are renaming that folder to 0.yak Adobe saves. And if you guys are wondering, we put a 0 first because our Mac reads in numerical and alphabetical order. So by putting 0 is going to bump it all the way at the top above all other folders. So we're going to click create. Yeah, I know, right? Little tips, you know what I'm saying? So we are going to click choose. And from there, we're going to go down to the bottom right and click create. There we go. Yes, we are in Adobe Premiere Pro. And at the top right, make sure that you are in the workspace here where you can see this. In the workspaces, make sure you are in the starter workspace. This is where we're going to begin at, right? So now hover over to the left side, the far left box, and it should say Project Yak Hilltop Vlog, yada, yada, yada. And it should say import media. We're not going to press that. We're going to actually right click in the empty space here. We're going to click new bin. Just like that. And keep in mind, this method that I'm going to show you guys is a method that you want to use for every single Adobe Premiere project that you do. And this formula I'm about to show you guys is a formula that I use all the time for all of my projects professionally, and I see that it works perfectly in any circumstance. So next, you want to make that bin. You might be hearing me call a folder a bin and a bin a folder, so just keep in mind they're the same thing. So in this bin, we're going to rename it to all projects, just like that. We're going to create another bin, and we're going to name that one all sequences, right? And then we're going to create another bin. This is the third bin. We're going to name this one all effects, right? And then after that, we are going to create our fourth bin, and we're going to name this one all assets. And now we have created all of our bins, aka folders, in Adobe Premiere Pro. They're empty right now, but we're going to fill it in the next lesson. And before we end, I'm just going to let you know that the all effects folder is going to hold all of the yak effects that you should have downloaded by now. The all projects is going to hold our yak hilltop vlog in there. The sequences, once we create a sequence, we're going to drag the sequence into that folder. And the all assets bin is here just in case if we download anything in the future, that's what we're going to put in there. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to go over putting everything into these bins and organizing it properly. So catch you on the next lesson. So now that we have officially created all of our folders, before we start importing, what we're going to do is sync our key commands together. So all the way at the top where we see Premiere Pro, right next to the Apple sign, we're going to click that, and then we're going to go to keyboard shortcuts right there. So we're going to make sure at the top here that preset is set to default, that commands, application, and the keyboard layout is EN for English speakers, for us English speakers. And now, since that's all synced up, I believe we are good to go. Let's go down to OK, press OK, bam. All right, now that those are synced, now what we're going to do is start importing our effects, importing our videos, and everything else that comes with that. All right, so now what we're going to do is hop into the all effects bin, and now we're going to right click an empty space, and then we're going to click import. All right, so we're in Yak Academia, and in Yak video editing downloads, we're going to click that. Let's go ahead and go to the effects here. We can just go ahead and import this folder here. Let's go down to import. It's going to import all of the other folders that are within the all yak effects folder. And you might see it say file import failure. Do not worry about that. It's just because we have some sound effects that are from Final Cut Pro X. Final Cut Pro X was my first editing software, one of my first professional editing softwares, but we have some effects there that Adobe Premiere can't read. But don't worry about that. We have hundreds of thousands more. Just go ahead and press OK. Those Final Cut Pro X sound effects, we're not gonna need those anyway. We got tons more, so let's press OK on that. And then let's bring this down. Let's make sure we have everything. All right, so what I'm doing here on the left side is I'm bringing down these arrows to give a preview of what's in there. Yep, we got all of our green screens. We got all of our music. We have all of our sound effects. Keep in mind the Final Cut Pro X sound effects don't read in Adobe Premiere, but like I said, we have tons more. Let's bring that up. And now all of our VFX, we have the meme video effects, and we have the motion array video effects. All right, now we're going to go back up to project at the top left. And now what we're going to do is in all projects, we're going to double click that. Let's get in there. And we're in all projects. We're going to right click and we're going to press import. We're going to be importing the videos. So now we're not going to do Yak effects. We're actually going to go down to Yak videos for Premiere Pro. And then we're going to click the Yak's Hilltop Vlog clips. Just click this folder and then go ahead to go down to import. And everything's imported. Let's double check. Yep, everything is there. We have all 18 videos. We may see that it's a little out of order. To simply put everything back in order, go up here to name and just click this name tab here. And it will automatically put it in ascending order or descending order. I like to put it in ascending order because it does it in numerical order too. So I like to put it in ascending order because it also puts it in numerical order. So we see 1 through 18 is here. All right, let's back out. Let's go back to the project up here, and yeah, we have everything that we need. All the assets, that's for anything that we download after we have put all our effects in. Like if we wanted to download some more memes or something, we can go ahead and put that in the all assets. And last but not least, we're going to set up autosave. Autosave is our safety crutch, just in case if the power goes out or whatever happens. We're going to make sure that Adobe automatically saves it, so when we come back, it's all there. So let's go up here at the top where it says Premiere Pro next to the Apple sign, and then we're going to go down to settings, and then we're going to go down to autosave. Make sure automatically save projects is checked. So for me, to be honest, I'm going to make this every 10 minutes because yo man, 10 minutes of editing, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? We could do a lot in just 3 minutes. So every 10 minutes you can do the same thing, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm going to make sure that we do that here. And maximum project versions, I'm going to keep that at 20. It means that once it hits 20 autosaves, that the first one at the top is going to get overridden by your next one. So it's going to always save 20 maximum projects. So we can change that location. Let's make sure we put that location to Yak Academia, Yak video editing downloads, Yak videos for Premiere Pro, and put it into our saves here. We're actually going to make a new folder in the 0.yak Adobe saves. We're going to make a new folder, and we're going to name this Adobe auto saves. So in that way, if we're editing and God forbid you have a power out, or God forbid the computer shuts down, whatever happens, the app stopped working, which happens, the app crashes, is that it's going to automatically save every 10 minutes to that folder that we just created. Very important. Make sure you do that. All right, so we're going to click OK. So very good. This was the foundational lesson. So in the next lessons to come, everything's going to be more smooth. It's going to be really smooth like butter. So that was this lesson. Very important. We're going to jump into the next lesson to where I'm going to show you guys how to create your first sequence, aka your first timeline. So let's jump into the next lesson. I'll see y'all there. All right, welcome guys to the next lesson. Now in this lesson, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create your first sequence. Now this is where the real fun begins. All right, first things first, we are going to make sure we are in Premiere Pro, just like we left off. And we're going to go all the way at the top where it says File. Then you're going to go down to New, and then you're going to go down to Sequence, just like that. We could minimize that. Now we're going to go over to Settings up over here. We're going to want our editing mode to be custom. We're going to make our time base 30 frames per second. All right, in video, we're going to make our frame size 1920 horizontal by 1080 vertical, which is going to give us a frame of 16 by 9. This is the most standard frame that you can get. So always remember 1920 by 1080 is standard HD. We're going to make our timeline sequence as such. So now we're going to do our pixel aspect ratio. We're going to keep that at square pixels 1.0. Fields, no fills, progressive scan. At display format, we're going to make sure we keep that at a 30 frames per second time code. So color space 709 is the most used, the most standard, the most go-to color space is Rec 709. Always remember that. Check the auto tone map media. In audio for sample rate, we're going to keep that at 48,000 hertz. Display frame format, we're going to keep this at audio samples. And for video previews, QuickTime, since I'm in Mac, we're going to make sure the codec, we're going to change the codec to H.264 like that. The width is 1920 and the height is 1080. So we're going to click the maximum bit depth, and we're going to also check the maximum render quality. And for the composite and linear color, we can keep that unchecked. All the things that we have just did, we're going to save this as a preset as standard HD. So for this preset, I named the name as standard HD for YouTube, since YouTube is always horizontal long form content. And in description, I also put standard HD horizontal for YouTube, just so it could be a better description. You can do the same. So we're going to save that preset. And let's see, where's the presets? There we go. Now it is in our custom presets. So whenever we make a YouTube video, we can just click this preset for our sequence. So now we're going to go over to settings. We're going to make another preset. We're going to make this specifically for our social media. So of course, custom. Another time base, we're going to keep that at 30 frames per second. Now in video, we're going to switch these around. So it's going to be 1080 by 1920. Let's go ahead and do that. 1080. And we're going to change this one, 1920. And now it's going to be in that vertical format 9 by 16, which is good. So same thing as before, the pixel aspect ratio, square pixels 1.0. Fields, no fills, progressive scan. Display format, a 30 frames per second time code. Color space, as always, Rec 709, that is the standard. Auto map, we're going to keep that checked. Sample rate, 48,000 hertz. I believe that's standard as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Display format, audio samples, preview is going to be QuickTime codec H.264. That is also known as MP4, high-res MP4. We'll get into that later too. And we have the width as 1080 and the height by 1920, which means that it is now vertical. So maximum bit depth, keep that the same. Maximum render quality, chilling. And now we're going to save this as a preset. So in the preset, I saved this as standard HD for social media vertical. And in the description, I just made TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, just so I'll know whenever I choose that it is designed specifically for that vertical format for your phone. So we're going to click OK. And then it's going to save that to our custom bin here, which we have here. And in fact, let's see. And there we go. We have both of our presets here. We could make more presets in the future, but for now, we're going to make, we're going to do this in standard HD. And now we're going to click our standard HD for YouTube format. And we just change the sequence name down here to Yak's Hilltop Vlog. So now we're going to press OK. And it created a timeline for us. Perfect. So now we're going to put this timeline, it created this timeline. We're going to click, hold, drag it into all sequences. Bam, just like that. So now when we bring the arrow up on all sequences, it's gone. Bring it down. It is now in the sequence bin, chilling. Let's preview all the other bins. Yep, we have our vlogs here. We have the yak effects here. We have everything here except for in all assets. That's just there just in case if we download anything in the future, any future music, any future anything, we put it in the all assets bin. But so far so good. And there you go, you have officially learned how to create your own sequences in Adobe Premiere Pro. And in the next lesson, we're gonna jump right into editing. Catch y'all in the next lesson. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the next lesson, and you already know it's editing time. So without further ado, let's go right into it because we about to get this thing popping. All right, so first things first, at the top right, we're gonna hover over workspaces, this little icon right here. We're still in the starter workspace. So we're gonna go down to editing. So here we're in editing now, and it kind of changed up the layout of the boxes. You can manually change the layout of the boxes too. If yours isn't looking like mine, please email me at info@yak.productions. Send me a screenshot of your screen to let me know what's there, what's not, so I can guide you on how to make it look like this. We are in editing, and now we can see that we have our timeline at the bottom right. We have our tools in the middle. We have our project right here at the left side where we see all of the organized bins that we made. We will have the program, which shows the preview of the videos that we have on the timeline. And up here, we will have a preview of any clips that we select. And this is where we're going to be at for this video, this area, this left side right here. So we're going to drag this out a little bit more so we can get a bigger view here. And we're going to drag this out a little bit more too, because we're not going to really be using the timeline right now. We're going to be sub-clipping. Now, sub-clipping is very, very important. Sub-clipping saves a lot of time and allows you to pick the highlights of the moments of your videos before you put it into the timeline. I'm going to show you right now. So we're going to go to all projects. Let's double click in all projects, and then we're also going to double click in Yak's Hilltop vlog clips. So now we see all of the clips here, and as we click it, we're going to see that we have everything here. And yeah, we have all of our things here. Let's make sure that we click the name so it could name it in ascending order, so it could change that all up. And this is the introduction to the vlog. I was speaking a little bit, so let me grab my earphones, pop that on real quick. All right, now next, what we're going to do is listen to the clip and pick out the highlight of this clip, right? So let's do it. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Okay, perfect. So there was a bit of dead air in the beginning of this clip. There is a little bit me setting up, and then soon after I say, what is up? Right here, if we could either look at the visual, or thing I like to do when sub clipping is click this audio only, and it will show you exactly where it was silent and exactly where it pops up. So right here, we can see if we press plus, so this box should be highlighted. If we press plus on the keyboard, bam, 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 it will take us closer into the audio. We're gonna want to start our video about right about, I'll say here. Right here should be fine. This is where we want our end point to be. So we want the clip to begin right here. So we can either click this, mark in, or we can go ahead and press I. It will do the same thing. It even tells you right here that mark in is I on the keyboard in the parentheses, so that's good too. So now we're going to press the minus button a couple times while this box is highlighted, back out, and we see that at the end there is a little bit of dead air here too. So I'm dragging the playhead, this blue thing is the playhead, and I'm dragging it right here. And if we zoom in, press plus 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 plus, we see that about, well, it could probably stop it about right about here. Right here is fine. So we can click out. So down here is where it says out, or you can press O on your keyboard. And we're going to press minus, 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 minus. There we go. This is good. And now we're going to click the video icon, and now it takes it back here. And now let's listen to it from where we started. Playhead starts about right here. What is up, everyone? It is Joshua. Straight to the point. Straight to the point. So now what we want to do, we can do it the long way, or we can do it the key command way. I'm going to show you the long way first. We're going to right click this video now that we have the in and out point, and then we're going to do make subclip. Now subclips is literally you creating highlights of the moments in that clip that you're subclipping. So just think about it like that. We can rename it, but honestly, we don't really have to rename these ones at all. You're going to want to make sure that the restrict trims to subclip boundaries is unchecked. That means that the highlight that you make, you know, the in out point, you can't drag it on a timeline. You always want to have some creative freedom. That it'll make sense later. So just make sure it's unchecked. No worries. All right. So now we're going to press OK, and it created the subclip into our bin here. So After we create all the subclips, we're going to separate subclips from clips, but we're going to do that later. So let's not jump the gun here. Let's go ahead and double click the next video here. Instead of pressing space to play through it, we're just going to scrub through it. We're going to see what is the most notable parts of this. So I'm clicking and holding and I'm dragging this playhead around. So we're going to see what is the best moments and what is the moments we don't want. So about right here, when I drop the camera down to turn it off, we are going to keep that part out. So we're going to keep it to about right about here. I believe it's at 3 seconds and 25 milliseconds. So what we can do is easily just put an out point here. We could press O, or we could click this. I pressed O on the keyboard, and yeah, that should be a good clip. You know, it starts off good, a smooth. It is the Hilltop logo, and there we go. So now we can make this as a subclip. So instead of doing it the long way where we press right click and we click press subclip, this time let's go ahead and click the clip, and we're going to press Command U, and on Windows that should be Control U, and there we go. It just pops right to that point where it says make subclip. So now let's go ahead and do that to subclip. Make sure it's unchecked where it says restrict trims to subclip boundaries. Keep that unchecked. And there we go. That's the next one. And we're going to do this for the next clips here all the way until we get to 18. Next, we're going to double click clip number 3. And if you have rotated this specific clip 3 and 4, we rotated it to where it is horizontal now. If you didn't rotate the original clip, you can just rotate it in post-production once it's on the timeline. I'll show you that later. But right now, we're going to find the best moments. So we're going to scrub that playhead through. I did a couple takes of going up to down. I like the second take better. So we're going to start around here, and we're going to hold it here for a little bit. Maybe at 7 seconds flat, we can keep that. Let's mark in. You can press I, or you can click this, just someone clicking this, and let's see where it starts. And right, yeah, you see I'll start walking towards it. Clip that part out right when we get to about 12 and 20 milliseconds. We can mark out that, and there we go. So now we're going to press Command U, aka Control U if you're on Windows, and go ahead and make that new subclip. Of course, same things before, unchecked, and make sure we press OK. Now on to clip 4. Now this is with me and my wife. I think we did 2 takes of this. That's a nice take. Let's see. Yeah, I like that first part right here. When I start smiling, we can start this at 1 second and 0.2 milliseconds, and then let's scrub through. Nice. Right when she smiles, about right there is fine, and right there is cool. At 2 seconds and 22 milliseconds, we're going to make our out point there. We're going to right click. This time we're right clicking, and we're going to do subclip, and we're going to make that subclip right there. I think we did we did another take. All right, so now we're in clip number 5. This is the second take of the same thing as before. We could probably keep it at about, let's see, maybe at she's so pretty. We could do it at 1 second right there. Let's do an in point there. Then let's do this here. Let's take it at an out point about right at 4 seconds and 10 milliseconds. Let's do an out point there. Let's make a subclip right there. Make subclip and click. Now on to the next one. This one is just extra B-roll footage. Always make sure you get B-roll footage whenever you're filming. B-roll footage is amazing. Just make sure you always get B-roll footage when you're recording. All right, so this one here, let's see. Right when that zoom in happens, we're gonna put an endpoint there at literally 1 second, and then all the way through, we can just keep it like that. So let's right click, and then we're gonna press make subclip, and then press OK. So now next onto the clip. So yeah, this is what takes time in editing. It's not hard, it's just tedious, but it allows you to be creatively free, which is good. So here in clip number 7, I took B-roll footage of the croissants and donuts and things. So let's try to find a good clip here. So I did a little rotating shot about like starting at 2 seconds and 25 milliseconds through, and I'll stop around 5 seconds and 0.4 milliseconds. We can make a subclip there, and we're gonna make subclip, and we're still gonna be in clip 7 because I think I did another rotating shot the opposite way. So you can make multiple subclips with one clip, which is dope. Just think about subclips as making highlights of the clips that you have. So we're gonna start at 5 seconds and 16 milliseconds, and then we're gonna drag that on through all the way to the end. So that's good. Let's go ahead, and this time we'll press Command U to make a subclip. I kind of transfer between key commands and actually clicking. It depends on how I'm feeling. It does the same thing though. So as you can see, sometimes when you make subclips, it actually takes it out. So let's go ahead and check if it's in the project. Yeah, so it took it out of the folder that we're in. So this is Yep, number 2, this is the second subclip. So keep in mind, if you make a subclip and it's not inside your folder that you want it to be, just check in the other folders. It should be there somewhere. So like me, it is in all projects and it's not inside of the Yak Hilltop vlog clips. So we're just gonna drag that right back in there. And then we're gonna double click back into Yak's Hilltop vlog clips folder. And there we go. We see both of our subclips here. So now let's double click and go to clip number 8. So this is the shot that we got of just the drinks. So I went from right to left and then I'll switch back from left to right. So we're going to do the right from left one first, and right about outside we stopped about 1 second and 10 milliseconds. We're going to do that mark out right there, and then we're going to make that subclip, and then secondly we're going to do from left to right, and perfect that way through, make subclip, and then bam, see, it did it again. You see, just be aware of it. If you don't see that it made the subclip, I'm certain to put it right back out. Oh wow, I actually took it out here this time. So that's the thing about subclips. It kind of puts it sometimes where it thinks it should go. So just take it right back to the bin that we want it to be in. Now let's hop back in there. There we go. Subclip number 2 is there. So now clip number 9. Perfect. So this is just an overview of the window there. Bam, like that. And we're gonna go back up. Let's see. It starts about right here, just like that. So I started from the end first and then worked my way back up to the beginning. So at 1 second and 20 milliseconds down to 5 seconds and 28 milliseconds right here. Actually, we could probably just play it all the way through. Let's go ahead, and we can even drag our out point all the way to the end. So we could get a little creative there. Right here, let's make subclip, and perfect, just like that. And now we're going to go to Yak's Hilltop vlog clip number 10. Double click that. And this is just of the other things that they have here. So we can start about right at 1 second 16 milliseconds here, make a quick subclip until we get down to 5:14. Bam, just like that. And this is the numbers I'm talking about here. So go ahead, right click, make subclip, and there we go. And now we're going to make sure that we check the other ones. We can actually go from down to up too, which is dope. So at 5 seconds 24 milliseconds, press I, or you could click this, scroll over, and we're going all the way up now. Bam, just like that. And now we're going to press O, make that, and then we're going to press Command U and make subclip. So like I said before, I just switched back and forth between key commands and actually clicking the commands. Let's go ahead and press I right here at 10 seconds 17 milliseconds, and yeah, we'll just make another subclip here. Right click, make subclip, and let's see if it takes it there. It did not, so we're gonna go right back out. It always puts it all the way back at the beginning, and then we're gonna drag that right back into there. So anytime that happens, don't fret, don't worry. It's just putting it where it thinks it should go. Now clip 11 out of 18. This is when I got a shot with homeboy. This is Jay Wild. Check him out on Spotify. His music is freaking dope. It's at JAYWILE on Spotify. Go ahead and listen to his track Numb. Man, his music is really good. Glad I got a shot with him. Really cool guy. So we're gonna start around 1 second and 25 milliseconds, and we're gonna play that on through to 2 seconds and 22 milliseconds right there. So we have, actually let's back it up just a little bit more. We're going to put it, actually the end point we want to be at 1 second and 17 milliseconds, as you can see here, so that it is a full second clip there. All right, so now we're going to press Command U, and we're going to make subclip. There we go, and I actually put it into the folder we want it to be in this time. All right, next 12. Nice shot here. I got some zoom in shots. We can do at 2 seconds and 9 milliseconds right there, and then we held that for a split second, and we're going to make our out point at 320. Make that subclip. Let's make sure, let's see, yep, put it inside this folder. Okay, and now, oh yeah, right here, that's a good shot right there at 325. Do that there, and then zooming out. We're gonna do a clip right here at 620. Bam, make subclip. Let's make sure that it goes into the right spot down here. We're always checking right here to make sure it goes in the right spot, and it didn't. So of course it's in project. I'm gonna drag that back in here. Not entirely sure why it does that. I just know that it thinks that that's where I want to put it, and it's not the case, but it's all good. We are good to go. So on this one, I'm gonna make sure we get that zoom in shot there. So I put an out point at the end, and I put an end point at 623. Make another subclip there, and bam. So put it in here, perfect. So now 13 seconds, we are going to do, nice. So this here, let's see what we did here. So, all right, so from the beginning until we get to 117, we're gonna just make an out point. We don't need to put an in point, it does it automatically. And now we are going to make a subclip here and make that subclip. And then from here, when I do that rotating shot at 122, we're gonna do that and then go all the way through. Yeah, so we don't need to put an in point here. Just right click and then make subclip, bam. See, I put it out here again, just be mindful of that. Gonna just continue on through. Clip 14, squeeze up the day. This was nice. So yeah, we recorded this in summertime. So about 108 down to 302, we're gonna make that subclip there. You guys are getting the hang of it though. You guys are getting the hang of it. Don't worry. If we are going quickly, just rewind the video and you'll catch back up. No worries. We started a subclip here at 304 and we're gonna just let it play through. No need to make an endpoint. Now make subclip and perfect. Now put that subclip into our project. We don't want it there. Let's drag it back in and there we go. Nice. So this was a shot of their chicken sandwich that I got. It was really nice, really nice. And we'll just do from the zoom in out until we get to 328 right there. Make it out point and now make subclip. There we go. There we go. 16. I think I did another shot of it. Let's just get that just because we can. Make sure right when my hand gets out of frame, this is still in frame. We're going to about right 127 all the way until 305. Let's do that there. Make subclip and there we go. 17. We're almost there, almost done. So this is when I take a bite and around 122 make that endpoint and I'll take that bite. That's pretty good, pretty good. Yep. That's when it hit. That burger was in and there we go, chilling. So about 920 is where we want to make our endpoint, and that was a 7-second clip there, 7 second 29 milliseconds, and make that subclip there and then put it out into this project here. Let's just drag it right back in there and then go back into the Yak vlog clips. And now right here, this is the outro. So this one we actually have to listen, so let's give it a listen. Peace. Really clean, really clean. All right, so there was some dead air in the beginning. You already know what we just did is we went over into this box here and we click this audio symbol right here. So we're gonna click that and now we can see the dead air. This whole little section is just of dead air before I start speaking. So let's go ahead and press the plus button a couple times and let's do that there. We're gonna click the playhead about right here. Let's put an endpoint. We can press I or click this again, and then we're gonna zoom out, press minus, 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 and zoom in about right here. There's a little bit of dead air at that last bit. This is very particular. It's not really necessary, but sometimes I like to be an overachiever. So we can press out right there, press O, and there we go. Press minus, 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 minus. So anytime I'm doing this, I'm pressing plus and I'm pressing minus. And we can go ahead and click that video again. Perfect. And we're gonna right click and we're going to do make subclip. So let's make sure that it actually makes a subclip in the folder that we wanted to. Perfect, it did. Perfect. So we have now officially subclipped all of our 18 clips here. So next, what we're going to do is in this little area, y'all know I always say click name and it puts in a numerical order. There is a way to put it in subclip order. So we're going to scroll over here where it says subclip start, subclip end, subclip duration. What we're going to do is click honestly any one of these. It should organize all the subclips at the top and all the regular clips at the bottom. Let's see. Did it in the opposite way. So all the clips, all the original clips are at the top and then all the subclips are at the bottom, which is pretty cool. That works too. So since we have more subclips than actual clips, what we're going to do is we could even right here, if you can look at my mouse cursor right here, what we're going to do is put it in the middle of these two right here, click hold and then drag it up so we could get more bang for our buck right here. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and drag that up and then we're going to click that and then we're going to hold command on Windows. You're going to hold control and then you're going to hold that and click every single one of these to separate it. The goal here is to separate the regular clips from the subclips. So we're going to do that there and there we go. Now all of them are highlighted. We're going to right click and then we are going to do new bin from selection. So now here we made a new bin from selection, aka new folder, and we're just going to name that one clips. Perfect. So now we can minimize that, and now we can do it an easier way. We don't have to select all of these at once. What we're going to do is we're going to click one of these, and we're going to press Command A. For Windows, it's going to be Control A, and there we go. So all of them are selected, but we have a little issue here. The clips folder that we just created is selected. We're going to hold Command for Windows Control. We're going to click that, and it's going to unhighlight it, and all these are going to stay highlighted. And now what we do is right click, and then we're going to go down to new bin from selection, and it created a bin with all of our subclips. So now what we're going to do is name this subclips. I like to capitalize the S and capitalize the C in subclips so I can actually see the difference there. And there we go. We can minimize that, and we're chilling. So now we can use this to scroll back over, and if we click name, it's going to put it in name order, which is even better. So there we go. We have officially subclipped everything. We can go back to project and see how everything looks. So if we go to project, and then if we go to all projects, we can minimize that down here. It'll minimize the Hilltop vlog clips, and now we have it separated in subclips and clips. Really good here. Y'all doing a solid job. All right, now we can check that. Yep, all clips are clipped and all subclips are clipped. Perfect. Now it's out of order again, so let's just click that name again. There we go. Automatically puts it in name order. Perfect. So we are good. So now you have officially learned how to subclip. This is what assistant editors do for the actual editor. So we just played the assistant editor role, and now what we're going to do is play the actual editor role in our next lesson. That is when we actually are going to get to the nitty gritty. I'm excited for y'all. So I hope y'all learned something from this lesson. I'll be catching y'all on the next lesson, and let's get it popping. We're gonna start editing. Catch y'all soon. All right, y'all, in this lesson we'll actually be getting into the video editing on the timeline. So first things first, we left off on creating all of these subclips, and with all these subclips, it's going to make our editing super smooth, super easy now that we subclipped all of the highlighted portions of these clips. So now what we're doing is opening up our subclip folder. We're going to double click that. So we're in our subclips folder here, and we're going to click the first clip, which is the introduction, and then we're going to press Command A, just like that, and then we're going to simply drag and drop all of these clips onto the timeline here, and you're going to get a pop-up saying clip mismatch warning. Now it's saying this because all of the videos was recorded in 4K resolution, but the sequence we created is at standard high definition. So it's basically saying like, hey, look, like this is mismatching, you know, you're gonna have to do some fixing, which is perfectly fine. I'm gonna show you guys how to fix it. So we're gonna go ahead and press keep existing settings, just like that, and then we're gonna drag this down. You guys can follow me as I do this too if you have done the same, about right here. So as we can see, the left looks perfect and the right looks a little too zoomed in. Now we're going to go over how to fix that. So now we're going to double click this first clip on the timeline. This is the intro, and then at the top left here we're going to go to effect controls. Right here we're in effect controls, where you see that this is the clip that we're in. We are seeing video, that motion is brought down, and this is where we're going to be at. We're going to be in motion and scale. So since 4K is twice the size of standard high definition, we put in standard high definition because that is still the standard right now. I'm not sure if we moved over to 4K fully yet, but standard HD, you can never go wrong with it. So now we're going to drag that scale down to about, I think around 50 will work. So let's see, drag it down, we click hold, and we just moving it over to the left side. And yeah, 43, as we can see, is too much, and we can see that 50 is just the right size. Perfect. So now we are at the right size with that, and if we drag over to the other clips, we're going to see that we have that same problem. Everything is too zoomed in, way too zoomed in. So I'm going to show you a quick fix for that. You guys might have this problem, you might have had this problem when using Adobe Premiere before, which probably made you stop like me. It made me not want to edit no more, but look how far we came. All right, so now this video right here, since this is the perfect size at the scale, we're going to click motion at the top left here. Gonna click that, and this is where key commands come in, right? We're gonna press Command C, and for Windows it's gonna be Control C. So we click Command C, and now what we can do is anywhere inside the timeline, any empty area, we're gonna click and hold to where it's gonna start doing that, and we can select multiple clips just like that. And then we're gonna press Command V as in Victor, and for Windows it's Control V. And as you can see, all of the clips are now perfectly framed in the way we want it to be. Clean, right? Really clean. So man, I'm telling you, copy pasting, so good, so good. All right, so we dragged all of our videos on the timeline. We scaled it to where all of it fits perfectly in frame. It's not too zoomed in because this was all shot in 4K. Our timeline is at standard high definition, which is 1080p, and this is the standard that we still are rocking with. All right, so now that all of the videos are on the timeline, let's get to editing it down straight away. All right, so first things first, there is a piece that we want to take out of this introduction video. We want to kind of shorten it up a little bit. I know I talked a little bit about, like, I'm using my iPhone and
everyone? It is
all those things
of yak.productions, and in today's episode of Yak Academia, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to get started with what you have. Now today,
yeah, so we can start off where it says now today. So in order to do that, bear with me, I'm going to be zooming in and out a lot. So you guys already know how to do that. With the keyframes, is minus. I just press minus, 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 plus, 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 plus. So I'm going to be zooming in and out quite quickly. Just as a disclaimer, you guys can do the same thing too. So it always centers on the zoom head. So let's say if we plot the zoom head over here, and if we zoomed in, it's going to always zoom in on the zoom head to where the zoom head is in the middle. So I'm going to be pressing plus and minus a lot. So right here, I'm going to zoom in on that playhead right there. So right here, we're going to put let's listen real quickly.
Now today we are in my,
yes, so we're going to start where it says now today, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So we can do this in one of two ways. This way is one of the most standard ways, which is you go to the beginning of it and then drag it down here to where it does that, and then you click this little area here where it highlights white, and you press delete or backspace, and it'll take it straight there.
Now today we,
or if you press command Z, it takes it back like this. You can do it the other way, which is using the razor tool. Right where we have this, where it starts off when I say, so I'm in my hometown, we could press C, turns your mouse into a razor tool, and you could click right where the playhead is, and then click V as in Victor, and then click that and delete that, and then you can go ahead and click that empty space and then delete that empty space too. So those are the two ways you can trim things down. Trimming is one of the most basic editing forms, and you can honestly make a video out of just trimming. To me personally, I like to do it this way where you actually drag it. That is my personal preference. All right, so now let's go ahead and listen.
without further ado,
all right, perfect. So right there where I say without further ado, let's jump right into it. We're going to zoom in there, and then this time we're gonna actually use the razor tool. So press C, and then we're gonna clip that little part out right there, and then we're gonna press the V as in Victor to go back to our normal mouse. And let's listen to that part again.
Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Perfect. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. We are going to leave that there. The middle part where I'm talking about, Adobe Premiere, MacBook, laptop, all that, we could trim that out. So let's go ahead and listen one more time.
We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone.
There we go. And we're going to keep it right there. How to just shoot video on your iPhone. So we're going to press C for that razor tool. Click right there, right after I say on your iPhone, click right there, and then from here on through.
Now it is not needed, but it's recommended that you also have a laptop.
Yeah, all that I'm saying.
Edit using that. So
all the way until I say edit using that. So we're going to highlight that. We could just drag, highlight, drag, click, hold, highlight, and then we can press delete or backspace. Bam, just like that. And it's going to sound way better. Now we're going to delete this empty space here too. Click that and then press delete. And now if we listen, the intro is now about 15 seconds.
Now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
Perfect. Straight to the point. Straight to the point. So we have our intro here. That's really good. Now, when I say let's just jump right into it, we're going to cut to these here. Right? Nice. So we have these clips here. There we go. Nice introduction shot. So we're most likely going to use this clip over this clip because this one is more quick and don't want to show too much lovey-dovey stuff, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click this clip. This is clip number 5 subclip 1, and then we're just going to delete that one, and then we're going to click that empty space that I made and then delete that so it can be make it quicker. So in that way, you know, for those of y'all who get grossed out by lovey-dovey stuff, we're gonna take that out. Keep it keep it PG, or G I should say, right? All right, anyways, what we're gonna do now is scrub through. Everything's good, everything is solid, everything is chilling. All right, so in the introduction, we're gonna spice it up a little bit, right? We're going to also go to the end, right? And we're going to trim down the end. Let's make sure that the end is good too.
We out. Check you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect. So now we can go ahead and trim out that part until I say.
And putting it together to make a little quick.
We're gonna skip that part and.
I hope y'all.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna trim it out when it says. So right in between.
I hope y'all enjoy.
To where it just be, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, right? So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in. We're gonna click C for that blade tool, and you're gonna clean that right there. And then let's listen to it, or let's click V really quickly to take it back to the original mouse, and let's listen to it by pressing space.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. This is Joshua of Yak Productions.
Yep, just like that. So this beginning part, we're going to delete that beginning part where I'm talking about, you know, this is how you edit with your iPhone and all blah blah blah. I'm gonna delete that, and then we're gonna delete that empty space to where it jumps right to it. So now we're reducing this video so it could be a 1 minute and 30-second clip at least. So that is a little quick thing on trimming. Now trimming is really simple. It's a really basic editing tool that we will be using going forward. Now you learned how to put everything on a timeline, you learned how to trim down to the meat and cheese of your video, you learned that introductions and outros are very essential. You always want to make sure you have a good intro, good outro, and you want to go to that first. You always want to start big and end big, right? So by that, just having a good explanation of what happened, you know, thank y'all, subscribe, blah blah blah. And yeah, those are the basics of how to make just a quick video. So if we wanted to, I mean, we can put this, but I personally wouldn't. We have a good intro, we have a good outro, we trim that, and now we're going to go into the meat and cheese of these in the next video. So in the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to clean up the audio gain, because as you can see right here, we don't need all this extra audio at all. We want music to be here. We don't want to hear the white noise in the background. So in the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll be seeing y'all in the next lesson. Catch y'all in a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this lesson, we're going to go over audio gain. And also, while we're on the topic of audio, so for me, I turned it off, and for you guys, it might be annoying too. So when you scrub, you might be hearing a I do not like that. I turned it off a long time ago. I'm going to show you guys how to turn it off too. So what you're going to do is go up here to Premiere Pro, all the way at the top, because this could be very annoying. So then we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to audio. Now in audio, I'll have this checked off. That was one of the first things I checked off. My apologies for not saying it earlier. What you can do is go ahead and check that off too. But I guess it's all cool, because while we're in audio, I'm teaching you guys audio stuff, you know, it works that way. So you can copy all the settings I have personally. So you can go ahead and click those things as well. Go ahead and unclick that play audio while scrubbing. It is so annoying. All right, so now we have that. So now it's silent, just like mine, no matter where you are, no matter where you're scrubbing at, you know what I'm saying? It just saves you from annoyances, for real. All right, so now that I have blessed you with that information, we can get back to editing. So there are some clips in here that has a lot of white noise, like these B-roll clips. We don't really want to have that audio in these clips at all. We want to minimize that, and we want to add music on top of that, right? We're going to be adding music later, but in this one, we're going to be adjusting the audio gain for all of these except for the intro. So for all of the videos that we want to take the audio out, we're going to, it starts about, yeah, right after I finish speaking, it's going to start about right here. So right here all the way until right here, the sandwich scene, right? The chicken sandwich, that was super good, man. I actually want some of that right now, to be honest. Anyways, we are going to go ahead from here. We're going to highlight from the bottom on the audio. So these are audio tracks, these are video tracks. So on the bottom, the audio, we're going to drag all the way until we get to that sandwich clip here. And then we're going to click, hold, and drag it down to this audio track. So there are two ways to do it. I'm going to show you the less effective way. I'm going to leave you off with the most effective way. The least effective way is just muting this whole track right here, right? Just press that M right there and it's gonna mute that whole track. So when we play it, don't hear any sound, which is perfect for editing transition sounds, music, sound effects, all that. So that's the least effective way. That's if you just want a quick cut. And the reason why I don't do that is because anything that gets on this track is going to be silenced. And sometimes you export and sometimes you forget. So I don't really like to do that. So I'm gonna show you guys the other way. Let's take that off. And then we are going to, all these are still highlighted. Remember the key commands. We're gonna press G as in gangster. No, I'm just kidding, this has an audio gain. And we're going to, it's gonna take us here and it's going to do set gain 2. And then it's at 0 decibels. This one, we're gonna put negative, we're just gonna put negative 100. It's gonna take it down to negative 96. That's the default, but I like to put negative 100. The max you can go is negative 96. I like to do it negative 100. The last thing you want to do, I'm telling y'all, is do 100. That is going to blast this audio so loud. You do not want to do that. It's gonna blow your ears off for real. Now you're gonna press G. Make sure we do negative 100. You can just do negative 100. It's gonna take it down to negative 96. 96 is the peak of both up and down. So now it's at negative, right? You check, it's at negative, right? I don't want to blow your ears off, man, for real. It happened to me one time. I swear it was the most frightening thing ever. And I was editing by myself. It was dark. It was like 2 in the morning. I was editing my project, my thesis project. The worst thing ever. True story. Anyways, so it should be negative 100, aka negative 96. And when you play it, it should be silent. So all of the clips are silent. And there is also a third way. This is a way that I do sometimes. I don't do it all the time, but for this instance, we're going to do it actually. So for all the B-roll footage, as we can see, we dragged all of our audio down to the second audio track. And from here, we can do another thing. What we can do is highlight all of them, right? Just like how we did, click, hold, drag, and highlight all of them. And then we can right click and we can go to unlink. So we only do this if we know we're not going to be using the audio for the B-roll footage at all, or whatever footage we're doing, because once we delete it, it's hard to get back. So we're going to press unlink. For these clips, we already know we're not going to use any of that audio. All of it was white noise. So we're going to again highlight all these again, and since they're unlinked, we can easily just press delete or backspace and it will get rid of it. So in that way, we don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about those clips being dragged along and the audio taking over. All B-roll clips should always look like this with no audio tracks at all. It makes it for a smoother experience. So those are my 3 things, my 3 fundamentals of audio. Really, really important. So now we have these B-roll clips ready to go. We can stack them on top of each other, which is what we're going to do in the next lesson. And we can go ahead and keep everything going. That is my quick lesson on audio and audio leveling and audio fixing and B-roll, all that. That's my lesson on that. So in the next lesson, we're going to go on to stacking and how to make your clips look good. So on to the next lesson. Check you on a bit. All right, y'all. So in the previous lesson, we went over the audio. We learned how to turn the gain down. We learned even how to mute audio tracks, right? Next is we're going to learn on how to stack our videos so it can make it look even better. As we can see, we have the introduction. It's a little lengthy. Not really anybody's going to sit through a lengthy introduction like this without any extra visuals, right? So let's give it one more listen.
Shooting video on.
All right, so as I'm mentioning these places, now we are going to put B-roll on top of this video. We're going to stack it and we're going to make it to where it's more interesting. So where did I say hilltop? Where is that?
Cafe.
Hilltop right here.
Going to hill.
Right here. We're going to leave that playhead there. And then I believe that this is the clip that we want to put. Let's see how that looks. Let's see.
Now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone.
So we are stacking layers on top of the videos to make it more seamless, right? So this is why having and recording B-roll is so important. Getting B-roll is super important. As you can see, all these are blue. I like to just make sure, I like to click these V1s, V2s, V3s to make sure all of it is blue. I think it does a little something. Let's just make sure all of it is blue. So we can start off there. And then
to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California.
Perfect. And then let's get right into it.
Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
Nice. And then we see me going to Hilltop. And then we are going to delete that little empty space that was there. And now we're just going to get into the nitty gritty. Honestly, let's see what we can do here.
We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe owned by Issa Rae here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone.
And then right there, we can even stack this. We can stack right there where I say how to record video on your iPhone. We can stack this clip of me and my wife right on top of that at the end of that. So it can be like, you know, California. It's telling the story. You know what I'm saying?
I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further
that is look at look, this is how easy editing is. I know it's a lot of layers to it. I know it's a lot of things, but once you get it down, it starts looking and sounding way better. And this, we haven't even added music yet. This is just an introduction.
All right. Now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe owned by Issa Rae here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
That is good. So now we're going to go to walking to the hilltop. Then we're going to get B-roll shots. As we can see, we have a lot of different B-roll shots of everything that we've seen. So honestly, what we can do is right when we say, let's get into it, we can go right here. And then we already know that this is hilltop. So we can honestly trim that little part out. I'm pressing plus, plus, plus. We're going to zoom in and then we're going to trim that out right here to get to that point. And then we're going to make it a little more speedy, right? We want it to be a little more quick. So now we are going to cut to the food. So honestly, before people start losing interest, what we're going to do is, you know, walking up, and then we're going to look at the menu here. This is the food. We're going to cut to a food shot. So I'm just simply clicking and dragging it on over here. You guys can do the same. This is clip number 7. Yep, and move that out the way. And then we can bring this down to the first audio track. And now let's see how that looks.
Let's jump right into it.
Jump right into it. Bam. And then we're walking to hilltop. And then right here, there are some food shots there. And we can cut to another one. Let's see. So we have one from left to right, one from right to left. Let's see which one looks better. So it was like bam, bam. Or we could do bam. Yeah, let's see. We could stack this on top of this one so it can override any video that is on top of another video. The one at the top will be the one that gets shown. As you can see here, this is a prime example of that. Right here we have my talking video, and then I put the B-roll of me and my wife right above. So then this one gets shown. So if I also put another video on top on video track number 3 like this, then this one will get shown, right? So let me go ahead and undo that. You guys don't have to copy that, don't worry. So that's just to show you guys an example of what happens if you stack. When you stack things, the one at the top gets shown. So let's see how this looks. Nice. I think I like that shot better, so we can just trim that down. And then next we're gonna want to cut to the menu. So there's a shot of the menu I got. Actually, no, I forgot. We have this one too. So what is this? It doesn't really say what clips unless I zoom in. Clip number 8. Let's see. We can do both clips number 8. We could just drag and highlight and zoom out, and then drag this on over to where we left off at, and then move this one over just like that, and bam, just like so. And now let's see how it looks. Bam, bam. Actually, I think that we're going to use this one instead of that one. So let's bring this down and then bring this one, sub clip number 2 with clip number 8 over. Let's see. That one looks way better. I like that. So these two clips at the bottom, we can go ahead and get rid of those. We can go ahead and delete because we know we're not going to go back to them. We can press delete or backspace on it to get rid of it. And then we can just drag that down just like that. And let's zoom out some. Now next, let's just see.
Jump right into it.
Bam, bam, bam. Get a shot of the drinks. And now we're going to get a shot of the menu that we have here, just like that. So just like that, we're going to drag that one over here, bring it down. So it's all on the video track number 1. Nice. Just like that. And it's showing the menu there. And then we can trim that down to that point right there. Go ahead and drag that to the endpoint right there. And now keep in mind, I'm still pressing the minus and plus button, plus, 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 minus, minus, minus. You guys can do the same thing just so I can get a better view. I do it pretty quickly. So I have my left hand on my keyboard like this. Oops, I got it like that. And my right hand on the mouse like a gamer style. Gamers, this is what gamers do. So left hand on the keyboard, right hand on the mouse. So it's just quick transitions. All right, so we have that. We have the menu just like that. And then we can cut to, let's see, we can go ahead, let's see what other footage we got here. Nice. Okay, so all of this is really just your creative flow. I'm starting to believe that I want the ambience to be shown first before I show the food and show these things. So I want it to be, now that I see the other b-roll footage, we are going to do it as we're walking into the store, right? And the next thing you know, we're going to look at all of the ambient shots, you know, the shots where it says good vibes only, you know, show the shots of the paintings on the wall. Then next, what we want to do is show the food. And then next, we're going to show me ordering. This is technically me ordering with homeboy over here. And then we are going to go to me having the food and then taking a bite and ending it up. So that's the structure we're going to have here. So let's go ahead and add more ambient b-roll footage here. So I just highlighted all of these, and when you highlight all of them, you can move them around, you can move them up and down. So I just moved them further out so I can go ahead and look for the good vibes only. Let's see, I want to do that zoom out because we're in, zooming out, and it's going to transition to other things. Now we have a creative choice here. Do we want the one that zooms out? We're going to be using clip 12, subclip number 3. That's perfect. We'll just use that. We're going to reverse that clip actually. We're going to actually reverse the speed of the clip, which I'm going to teach you guys how to do in the next lesson, but I have an idea for this one. So you guys can do the same thing. If not, perfectly fine. You guys can use whatever good vibes only thing that you want to use. All right, now we have that. Now we're going to get more ambience of hilltop. We're all in this together. I like that. We're going to use that one. Kind of zoom out a little bit. Let's see. So we can keep it to about right here. Yep, we're just going to keep that right there. And next we want is, what we're going to do is use this subclip here. Which subclip is this? This is clip 10, subclip number 1. We're going to drag that on over here. We can go ahead and delete the other subclips of these ones. Go ahead, highlight those, delete. And now we can delete this empty space to bring all the other clips together. Go ahead and do the same thing here, delete that. What we're going to do is add more paintings on the wall. We're going to click clip number 3, subclip number 2. We're going to click that on over, bam, just like that. And we're going to delete this original one, subclip number 1 of 13, delete that one. And then squeeze of the day. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's put that next. And then let's see what else we got. So we have 2 squeeze of the days. So we're actually going to use, let's see which one. We're actually going to use clip 14 of subclip 2. We're going to delete the first one, and then we're going to put clip 14, subclip number 2. Put that there. And let's see. All right, so yeah, this is the ending, and then we can go ahead and look at these parts here and back that up. Delete that empty space and then delete this empty space. Now it seems like we have a good video here. So let's start from the beginning.
Now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
That's cool. That's cool. Nice, good vibes only. We're all in this together. Okay, that clip is a little long. Let's go ahead really quickly. Let's trim that down to the last part. So let's see. We're gonna trim that down to, honestly, this last little section, like right when it zooms out, we're actually gonna trim that down, and we're going to delete that little empty space there. Let's get another view at that from back here. Okay, that was good. Right when it gets to right there, we're gonna trim that little piece down too. Bam. And then we're going to delete that empty space. Bam. We have a painting here, squeeze of the day, the food, bam. Actually, we're going to replace the squeeze of the day. This one is 14. We're going to raise that up. We're going to bring clips 7 and 8 closer to clip 13. And then we're going to bring this on over. In order, it's going to be 7, 8, and then 9. And then we're going to put clip 14 after 9. So it's going to show a squeeze of the day, and it's going to show me with him. Perfect. So let's go ahead and play that back. Actually, let's go ahead and we're going to replace the painting with this. We're all in this together. So nice. Let's do the painting, and we're going to do this. Bam. Show some of the food, the drinks, show the menu, and then we can actually trim out a little bit of that too. Back when it, like right when it gets to right about here. Finish that off. Press space to play. There we go. Nice. And then we show the actual burger that I ordered. We have 2 clips of that. We're actually going to use, clip 15, subclip 1, we're going to delete clip 16, and we're going to delete the empty space. So it goes from 15 subclip 1 to 17 subclip 1, just like that. Bam. We take a bite of that. Nice. And honestly, right here, after I take that bite, we're going to click right here. We're going to press C. We're going to press and C changes it to the razor tool, and then we're going to do it right there, and we're going to trim it down to where I give my thumbs up, straight to the point. Actually, we can keep it right there, right when it hit. Yep. We're going to trim that down to that section right there, and then delete the empty space. Bam. And then right there, it was good.
Hope y'all enjoyed that episode. This is Joshua of Yak.
So now this video is less than a minute. So that's really cool. We trimmed down a lot of things here. Let's give it one more playthrough.
Now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
So with this clip, I'm not really a fan of this one, to be honest. We have another subclip of 13 here. This is subclip 2. Let's go back to number 1. Let's bring that size down to 50. Yeah, we're gonna keep that one instead. All right. Not bad, not bad. Clean, clean, clean. All right, so we're gonna do it right when I do the first bite here. So I'll take it, bam. I'll do a first chew. So we can do it right about here. Sorry guys, this food was a little messy. Right there, take that bite, and then nice.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. This is Joshua of yak.productions, aka Yakademia, for this segment. We out. Check you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect. So there we go. That is a really good, really clean video. So now let me give you guys an overview. All right, so now that we have all of our videos in order, let's give an overview of which videos I have where. So we're starting off with the first clip here. This is the first subclip of the first clip. And then we have that introduction starting off when I say,
now today we are in.
Now today we are in. And then on top of that, in the first 5 seconds, we have right when I mention Hilltop, we have clip number 3, subclip 1 over that. And then we put that right there. And then it cuts right back to me. When I mentioned shooting video on your iPhone, we have clip number 4, subclip number 1 of me and my wife over that. Next, we jump back into,
without further ado,
where I'll say without further ado, just like that. So then we jump to clip number 2, subclip 1. After that, we have clip number 12, subclip 3. Then clip 6, subclip 1. After that, 13, subclip 1. Clip 10, subclip 1. Clip 7, subclip 2. Clip 8, subclip 2. Clip 9 is in order. Nice. Subclip 1. Number 14, number 2. Number 11, number 1 of me and our boy right here, Jay. Dope music. Check him out, Jay Wiles. We have after that 15, subclip 1. Clip 17, subclip 1. And we split it in between the first bite and then right when it's hidden, that sound was hidden of the same subclip. So we kind of trimmed it down so it could just jump right to the point. And then we have the end, which is clip 18, subclip 1. So that is the order of the clips that I have here on my timeline. This is how I like it. If you guys want to rearrange certain things, you guys can go ahead and do that. And now we are going to get into nesting. Now nesting, as you can see, if we have B-roll clips like this all on one thing, and if you want to minimize space, you can create a nest of it, and it allows you to cut it as if it's one clip. So nesting is going to merge all these clips together as it is. So we're going to highlight these clips here, right? These clips on this first introduction, we're going to right click, and then we're going to go to nest right there. And then this one, we're going to name this yak intro nested. And then it's going to create a separate sequence for that, right? So there you go. It compiled all of it into one video just like this, and then it's going to be that same thing, right? So as we can see, it created its own sequence over here in the folders. What we can do is drag and take it to all sequences. So this is where all of our sequences will go. So now if we see here on the timeline, this looks like it's one video, but it has multiple videos in it. But if we go ahead and double click it, it will take us inside of that sequence to where we could rearrange the clips as we want it to look. So if we go here, as we can see, it's all in one clip. And if we go here inside of the actual nested clip, we will see that it is all here. So if we wanted to, let's say this part right here where I say Hilltop, we want to delete that, but still have this clip on top of it in a nested sequence, not going to show up here too. You know what I'm saying? So nesting is pretty cool. I don't really do it all the time because it can get a little confusing if you lose track of it. But let's go ahead and press Command Z, bring that back, and brought it back, and it also brought it back here too. Perfect. So it's really cool. Nesting is pretty cool. It works when you have a lot of stuff stacked, and if you want to minimize space, it works, and you can just double click it and go into it, and you can edit it inside of its own sequence. So it's pretty cool stuff here. So we can exit out of that sequence, and we're going to keep that one nested. So that is nesting. Really cool. So in the next lesson, I'm going to show you guys how to change the speed of your clips, how to reverse your clips, and also we're going to be going a little over frame rates finally. So I'll be seeing y'all on the next lesson. Alrighty, so in this lesson, we're going to go over how to adjust the speed and how to reverse the speed of your videos. Certain clips that you want to reverse or certain clips that you want to speed up, slow down. We're going to jump right into that. So first things first, the clip that we wanted to do was this one here. Good vibes only. So we're going to zoom in here, and then we're going to right click, and then we're going to do speed and duration. So speed and duration is what is going to be what we want to go into. But before we go ahead and change it, let's go ahead and see what we want to do to it first, right? So this clip here, good vibes only, is what we want to do. So let's go ahead and watch it. Yep, so just like that. What we're going to do on good vibes only is we're going to reverse the speed of it. Instead of zooming in, we wanted to do the opposite, which is zoom out. So it's going to reverse this. So we're going to right click, and then we're going to go to speed and duration, and then simply click reverse speed. Do that, and there we go. Let's see. It's going to zoom from in to out, right? Let's see. Yep, just like that. Just like that. So that is a little bit about speed. That's how you reverse. Now we're going to go about speeding up a clip. So now let's see if we might want to speed this clip up, make it a little quicker. We can right click, and then we can go to speed and duration again. And let's see if we increase the speed by 140% instead of its original 100%. Let's see. That's pretty good. Not bad, not bad. Just like that. So it increased the speed. We increased the speed a little bit. Now that the speed is higher on it, the clip gets shorter. As we can see, the clip got shorter, so we're going to eliminate that empty space here. And let's see. Yep, not bad. And there we go, like that. And then here. And now for this clip, we can see that it is playing in normal time and all that, and it's pretty good. But let's go ahead and slow down the speed of this one, right? So we're going to right click it, and we're going to go to speed and duration, and then we are going to slow it down. Let's take it down to 80% from 100. So it's at 100%, that means it's normal. Let's slow it down by making it at 80. Let's see how that looks. And nice. That's not bad, you know? I mean, it's not really a big difference, but it just shows you a little bit of what you can do with speed. Now, if we were to reduce it to 50%, it's gonna look choppy. Watch. It's not gonna look good. See, as you can see, if we look up here, when we play it back again, it's really choppy, really choppy. And it's not smooth like how you see in movies when slow-mo shots are super smooth. Now I'm going to explain to you why that is. So if we go to this clip, if we right click this clip and then go to reveal in project, it's going to take us right here, and then we're going to see all of the information for that clip here. We see that it is shot at 30 frames per second. Now, frames per second is how many pictures that video took in that second. So as we know, videos are literally just a lot of pictures taken in a second so it could look smooth and it plays it back. If you guys have ever seen like those when artists write in those books and they write on multiple pages, small movements, and then when you flip the pages back, it looks like it's giving movement. That is exactly what videos are. It's taking multiple pictures in a second so that it can make a video out of it. So if you boost it up to 60 frames per second, that means it's 60 pictures being taken in 1 second, and it makes it really smooth, which means that slow motion shots look really good. However, the standard for all things on social media is 30 frames per second. The standard for movies is at 24 frames per second. So every movie we watch, 24 pictures being taken in 1 second. That makes the video look more cinematic, and that is what frames per second are. So all these are shot at 30 frames per second. So if we slow it down, if we were to reduce it to half, that means that we are getting 15 pictures per second in this clip because we slowed it down by 50%. It's a little math, but I know it might sound a little confusing, but no worries. Just know that 30 frames per second clips, if you slow it down half by 50%, then it's only going to give you 15 frames, 15 pictures in that clip, which makes it look really choppy like we have right here. So that's the difference why we shoot at 24, 30, and 60 frames per second on our cameras. It's really to get those smooth effects when we take it back to the editing bay. So it's really cool, really cool. In the future, we will talk a little bit more about that. So here with this clip selected, we can right click and go to speed and duration, or we can press Command R for Windows, Control R to pop that up. And we're gonna keep it at 80% for this 30 frames a second clip. Should be good to go. So let's see how that looks. Not bad. So we're gonna drag the rest of that out. That's not bad. Yep, just like that. Cool. So there we go. That is a little course on speed. So you guys can mess around a little bit more. These are the only 3 clips I'm gonna mess around with the speed. Everything else, the frames and all that stuff was pretty smooth. I liked it. I liked all of this. So now we're going to jump into the next lesson where we are going to be doing the transitions. Now this is about to get really exciting. You don't want to miss the next lesson. So I'll catch y'all in the next lesson. See y'all in a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over why transitions and video effects are essential in this lesson. So first things first, let's go ahead and look at the default transitions. So here we are going to go up to the top right and we're going to change the workspace to effects. All right, so when you have the effects tab pulled down, you'll see that you have a lot of different bins here. So in these bins, what you can do is go ahead and go down here, do new custom bin, and then go ahead and name this most used. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and copy my frequently used effects into your most used one. So as you can see, if you want to pause the screen, you can see all these. You can search up each and every single one I have, except for the film nitrate and except for the presets that I have. Those ones are bought and custom built, so don't worry about those. We're going to be using these other ones instead. So if you want to copy all of these ones that I have, you can simply type it up, like bass for example. Go ahead and you'll see that you can just drag and drop it into your most used, and when you drop that down, it'll be there. So same for all of the other ones. You can go ahead and pause the video if you like, and go ahead and put all of these. You can search up in the search bar, put all of these into your most used pack. So once that's done, we will get started. So first things first, at the beginning and end of each video, you don't want it to just abruptly cut off.
Peace.
Like that. I mean, you can if that's the style you want, but typically it's good to end on like a dip to black, for example. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna drag, we're gonna click, hold it, and drag it down onto the video, and then it's gonna do a
next one. Peace.
A simple fade out, a simple dip to black. So if you don't like the placement of it, you can just click and drag it down to where it's shorter, and then
peace.
And in that way it's shorter. And if you want to make it real long, like the whole video, let's just for fun, let's do it.
This is Joshua of yak.productions, aka
so
Academia for this.
It just cuts off on me as I'm speaking. So it just shows the amount of creativity you can do when you do it. So I'm gonna keep it about like right here.
Check it on the next one.
That's solid. That's solid. So that is one of the many effects that we have here. Now these are the default effects. So we have here that one. We have another one that a lot of people use, cross dissolve. Cross dissolve is very popular in a lot of music videos too. So after I take a bite of that viral delicious sandwich, we go at cross dissolve into
Hope y'all enjoyed that episode.
So it's not a lot of spunk when it comes to the default transitions. It's just, you know, a nice transition. It makes it just a little smoother. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one. Oops, didn't mean to delete the whole video. Command Z, aka Control Z. That's the way to go. Gonna go ahead and click that and then press delete. So I'm pressing minus, zoomed out, and there we go. So those are just a couple of basic ones. Exponential fade is for audio. So if I put exponential fade on the bottom of this, it's going to make my audio die out. So it makes it
okay on the next one.
So you see it made it die out a lot faster, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So you know, you guys can mess around with those default ones, but I'm Yak, and Yak gave y'all a whole lot of transitions, a whole lot of effects, right? So let's go ahead and put some of those transitions in here. What we're gonna do is go to our Finder, and we're gonna go to our Yak Academia page. Yak Academia. We're going to click that, and then we're going to go into the Yak video editing downloads, and then all transition projects. Now we have 2 of them here right now. As of right now, we have 2 of them. So the most useful transitions is one of the most used ones that I use. It's literally the most useful. And then we're going to open up the premium milk one, and then we're going to open up this one right here, the one that says all _1_1. It constantly makes new saves of it, so we're going to double click that. It's going to open up another project within Premiere of all the projects that is within this transition pack. So it's going to take a little second, and it's another project within our Adobe Premiere save. So now we're going to open up premium milk transitions, and then one of my favorite ones here is the light transitions. We're going to open up that one. Actually, we're going to jump into that folder there, and then we'll see that there are a lot of different lighting effects here. So as we scrub through it, we can see that there are different lighting effects. Now, unfortunately, the first and second one, you can see it is black, but you can still see what it looks like. And this one here, actually what we're going to do is double click it. Okay, there are videos here, but what we're going to do, we just double clicked it to open up its own sequence on its own timeline. And what we're going to do is going to click, hold, and hover over this. And in fact, let's click, hold, and hover over that whole thing with the sound effect too. We're going to press Command C, and then we're going to go to Yak's Hilltop Vlog on the sequence. And then from there, we are going to go ahead and press Command V off of the videos. So Command V, there we go. Now let's go ahead. It should have pasted it like this. We're going to drag it down right here. And now what we're going to do is put this at the end of the video, just like that. So not completely at the end. You want the transition to be like this, so it can give it another thing to go off to. So let's see. Now we could eliminate this dip to black, this default transition. Let's go ahead and delete that. And now let me show you this.
Peace.
See, now that is much more vibrant. You know what I'm saying? This is one of my go-to transition packs here, and now you have it too. So let's do it one more time.
And the next one. Peace.
Nice. So that's good. Now what we can do is we can highlight those and then hold shift and click this bottom audio right here, and then we press copy again, Command C, copying it just to make sure. And then we can easily just put this anywhere. We're gonna actually put it on, before I say Hilltop, right here, bam. And now we can go ahead, and what I like to do is I like to delete the bottom ones, and then sometimes I even delete the audio too. And then right where it shows, like right here, we're gonna put it right in the middle there, and it's going to be like
going to Hilltop Cafe,
nice.
Owned by Issa
Really
Rae
clean.
here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how.
All right, and then we can copy this. So we can either copy by pressing Command C and then pressing Command V, and it'll copy right where the playhead is, or I'm gonna undo, or we can click this, and one of the other key commands is holding Option or Alt if you are on Windows. Holding that and then clicking and dragging this where it needs to be is going to duplicate it. So holding Option or Alt while something's highlighted, and then you're going to click and hold, and it's going to duplicate it. Now if you do it wrong, what's going to happen is you're going to do this and it's going to do that. You're going to move it. You don't want to do that. Command Z. On your keyboard, you're going to hold Option on Mac or Alt on Windows, and while the clip is selected, you're going to drag it out, and it's going to make a duplicate of it. You're going to want to hold Option or Alt the whole entire time until you make that duplicate. So we have multiple duplicates here. That's cool. So now we're going to add that little light transition right about here. All right, so we're going to put that directly in the middle there like that. And let's see.
Show you guys how to
Nice.
just get started with
Really
shooting
clean, really
video
smooth.
on your iPhone. Without further ado,
Really
let's
smooth.
jump right into it.
And then jump right into it. We're going to put another one here just to have that there, you know,
Right
smooth
into it.
transition. Nice. And we can literally just, if you really wanted to, you can just put this over any little spot that you want a smooth transition to be. So this is the light leak. Keep in mind, in this project here, we have a ton more. And that was just one of the light ones in this light leak, whatchamacallit. There are 20 light leaks here, a whole grip of ones you can use. And also, there are plenty more in every single one of these things here. Now we have it in descending order. Let's put it in ascending order. We have motions, we have zoom, we have glitch. We have all of these other transitions we can use. It is, like it said, the most useful transition pack ever. But this is my go-to, is the light transitions. It's really smooth, really buttery, nothing too crazy. But let's go ahead and look at one of the other transitions that we have here. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. So just for example, let's go ahead and look at motions, right? The first one, motions. We can go ahead and double click that and we can look at the different effects that it has. Keep in mind, y'all, this is all y'all's now. This, you guys own this. Like all of these things you own, you can use it on any video that you want from this point forward. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all to the glory of God, I was able to bless y'all with that. Thank y'all for choosing me as your mentor. Really appreciate it. So anyways, let's go ahead and simple left to right. Let's see what happens if we do that. We're going to double click that. It's going to make its own project here. So if we were to highlight all of it and then copy paste it and paste it into our project here, it's going to copy that video that it made too, that little purple thing. So it's going to look like this. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is delete this little purple video so that your video can be in replacement of it. So if we wanted to put this here, right? If we wanted to put it here, it's going to,
I hope y'all enjoyed that
like
episode.
This super smooth, way better than those default transitions. I ain't got nothing against it. They're really cool, but when you have something like this, you don't go back to the default transitions unless you have to. All right, so we have these. So now we have multiple different transitions.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode.
Really cool, man. Really cool. And just keep in mind, you have hundreds of these, so it might take you a little while to just look through them. But one of my go-tos is that light leak one. Really good. I really like the light leak. It's really, it works with a lot of projects. So we have those.
I hope y'all enjoyed that.
That was really nice. And let's see here. So let's just look at it really quickly. Scrub through it. Nice. We have a light right there. And then we
guys, how
back,
to
just
like
that.
Get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further ado.
And then we can actually put another light leak. Nah, we don't need to. We don't need to. It's going to use scrub through. Bam. Nice. So sometimes I like to do every other scene or every other clip. I like to put the light leak there. That's one of my personal ways to do it. Every other one. So it's not too overbearing, but it sometimes can still get overbearing. This is just a method that I use. And as you can see right here, I am clicking, then I'm holding option, and then I'm dragging it while still holding option. Then I'll let go of the mouse, and then I'll let go of option, aka alt. So that is how you simply do that. So let's just see how it looks with these clips with each one in between.
Let's jump right into it.
Nice. Nice. Not bad. Cool. See, every other one is pretty smooth. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Really, it's just really straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? It makes it look really cool. Really nice. Really nice. So the video just looks that much better. We honestly didn't need it right there. We could delete that one. In fact, we're gonna move this one from over here to right over here after this part. Let's see. Not bad. So there we go. That is transitions. That is with the yak effects. So those are the transitions that you guys have downloaded. As you can see, you guys have tons more. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me just show y'all real quick. Look at all of the different projects y'all have for all of these different transitions, man. It is 10 folders, and in each 10 folder there's at least 20 different transitions. So that math is like, well, this one got 60. This one got 60. The mix got 60, bro. Yo, so y'all have at least 200 different transitions in this pack alone. And then you have transition zone. That's another one. So y'all got a lot to work with, you know what I'm saying? And all of these are at 1920 by 1080. So if you record at 4K, you want to make sure that you go ahead and make the sequence at 1920 by 1080 for these to work. If you have a sequence that's at 4K, I think you can actually just big these up, increase the scale of it. I believe it could work that way. But regardless, you guys have tons of transitions, and that's just in the most used transition pack. We still got transition zone. So honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with just these simple transitions here. So I hope this is helping you guys learn how to edit in Adobe Premiere. If not, if you have any questions, feel free to email me at info@yak.productions. We're still not done. We still have a couple more lessons to go through. So catch you on the next one. All right, y'all, in this lesson, it's going to be a quick video on how to make your videos look just a little more cinematic. And we're going to do that with keyframing. And I'm also going to show you guys how to crop a little bit too. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so there are a couple of shots that I wanted to keyframe. Well, first things first, in this original clip here, let's say if we wanted to make it look like that cinematic shot to where it looks like a widescreen shot, what we can do here is we can go to effects, and we can drag crop right over that. Bam, just like that. And then it's going to pop up at the top left in our effect controls. That's how you control the effects. And here we are going to do top. We're going to click hold, drag that to the right, and we're going to drag it down maybe 8%. And then we're going to do bottom. We're going to just click that and we're going to type 8 and then do that 8%. And now it looks like it's one of those, look at that shot. Now it looks like a cinematic video. Now it doesn't really work that well on iPhone, but it is another effect we can do. And also, if you like this, what you can do is keyframe it. Now keyframes, as you can see, the top is at 8%, the bottom is at 8%. This is how it looks when it's cropped. Now we're going to press the reset button on both of them, reset parameter, and then do this one, reset parameter. It takes it back to the original. Now we're going to do this little clock area is where we're going to do our keyframes at, right? So we had bottom, we're going to do that one, and we had top, we're going to do that one. So now if we want the widescreen to come in like that with motion, we have our keyframes at the beginning of the video. Then we're going to go over a couple frames. We're going to go over a couple frames with the arrow keys. So bam, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 frames in. Actually 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 frames in. 30 frames is a second. So in 1 second we're going to do this. We're going to put the top to 8, bam, and then we're going to put the bottom to 8, bam, just like that. And then now we see that it's in here now. So if we go to the beginning, it's none, and if we drag it on through, it kind of dials in. So give it that cinematic effect. Let's see.
Now today we are
nice.
in my
and then
home
it stays
city
that
of
way.
Inglewood,
So that is what keyframing is. You know, at the beginning of the video, in this frame, we have the crop top and bottom at 0, and then we put the first 30 frames, the first second, we put at 0.8, another keyframe at 0.8, and then at the end of the first 30 frames, which is the first second, we went over and we upped the top crop to 8%, and then the bottom crop to 8% with the keyframes here. And now with motion, with time, is going to give motion.
Now today
right?
we are in my
just like
home
that.
city.
So that is a quick example of what keyframing is and how to make a video look cinematic if you wanted it to. If you wanted your whole video to look like a widescreen effect, that is one way with crop. So now we're going to go ahead and delete crop because I'm personally not going to use it. If you want, you can. So I click this in the effect controls and I press delete. You can press backspace and it gets rid of that. So the next thing we're going to do is the keyframes we're actually going to do is for this one here, right? We're going to click that, and now we're in the effect controls at the top left. So what we're going to do is we're going to mess around with the scale. We're going to have it zoom in and we're going to have it dial out like a reverse zoom. So in order to do that, as you know, we had changed the scale to 50 so it can fit the actual frame. And we're going to do a keyframe, which is toggle animation. This little icon look like a timestamp. We're going to click that. Honestly, we can click it anywhere, but make sure you guys bring that one all the way to the end. This is a keyframe of 50. This is a keyframe on a scale and it is at 50. So we're going to bring that all the way to the end. And then we are going to create another one here. We're going to press this little dot here. This is to add / remove a keyframe. Going to add that keyframe, and then we're going to boost this up. Let's say 55, right? Press enter, and now we're going to drag this to the beginning, and it's zoomed in, and as the video plays, it's going to start zooming out. You'll see, look. So this one's very subtle. It's because I'm walking to, but let's go ahead and boost it up even more. Actually, we're going to boost it up to, let's say 80, just so I can show you guys what it looks like, right? So let's press return, and let's go ahead and see. Nice. See, now it's like I'm moving, but it's zooming out. So that is keyframing. It makes it look a little more cinematic, a little more engaging. So even as I'm talking, what I'm going to do is we're going to go into this nested sequence. So we're going to go into the nested sequence right here. Let's double click. Now we're in here. Now this B-roll clip here in the beginning, we're going to keyframe this one. We're going to make it zoom in and we're going to make it dial out so it can make it more engaging, right? So we're going to click that in the timeline, and then we're going to go up to the top left, and then we're going to click the toggle animation and scale. And then we're going to keep this one at 50, move that over to the right side. And then we're going to create another one, clicking this button here. And then we're going to change that keyframe to, let's say probably 65. Let's see how 65 look. That's good. I like that. And now as it plays, it's going to zoom out. Let's watch.
Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to.
So with keyframing, it allows you to zoom digitally without having to zoom on whatever camera you're using. So it's really good. It's really good. So we had keyframe that. All right, so we went ahead and keyframe this clip here. Now let's see if there's any other videos we want to keyframe.
Let's just jump right into it.
We keyframe this one. That we don't need to. This one we need to keyframe. This one, let's go ahead and keyframe this one too. This clip that I'm talking about is clip number 6. So let's put a toggle animation here for scale at 50, move that to the end, and then we're gonna press this little dot right here at keyframe, and then we're gonna zoom in to about 65 on this one too. I think that's good. Yep, it's not too blocked off here. So now when it transitions, it's gonna do a zoom. It's gonna do a digital zoom. Nice, see? Way more smooth. Just so smooth with that, man. It's just so smooth. All right. Now let's go over to the next shot. This one, all right, now we did keyframes where it's zoom in, zoom out. Now we're gonna do one where it goes left to right. All right, so let's click this clip. This is clip number 13. So first, so it can have enough space to move left to right, we are going to zoom in slightly. We're not gonna do the keyframe, we're not gonna do the time thing. We're going to zoom in naturally. Let's say at about 60, right? Now at the top left in position, we are going to move that position over to, let's do 1100, right? So now we're gonna click that time button. It's gonna start our keyframes. We're gonna do that. We're gonna put this one to the beginning. So now on the next one, let's just go ahead and use position again. We're gonna scale it the other way. I'm going to the left side. And now we are going to see, now if we go too far, it's gonna take it out, right? So what we're going to do is take it right here, and we're going to go to, let's say about 800. I think 800 should be fine, 800 flat. And then move this frame over here. So now let's see how that looks. Nice. So it's very subtle, but it does a little something. Keyframing, it's not always going to be really grand, but it does give a little motion, which keeps your audience engaged. So let's go ahead and look at this one. This one is good. No need to keyframe that unless we want to do a zoom in. Not necessary. This one, we're going to need a keyframe. Let's go ahead and scale and do that. Y'all already know that. Y'all should already know the drill. We pressed the time stamp and then it created a timestamp with the 50, and then we're going to create another one here, and then we're going to zoom in. We're going to click it, and then we're going to move to the right side with our mouse. Going to zoom in to about 60, bring that to the beginning, and let's see. Nice, that looks good. Nice. We're actually going to do the same thing here too. So honestly, you can also copy paste keyframes too. So like this, we're going to click that, and then we're going to click motion at the top left, and then we're going to press Command C. And now we're going to go over to the next video that we want it to be keyframed, and then we're going to click motion again, and then we're going to do Command V. And there you go, it keyframed it. Now sometimes, since the previous clip was longer than this clip by just a smidge, it made it to where it doesn't fully keyframe it all the way out to the end, but it's perfectly fine. This one we don't have to worry about that because it looks good. Let's see. That's good. Nice shot of that. Nice menu. This one we don't have to keyframe. This one's good. That one already kind of zoomed out, and these two are pretty solid. There we go.
Hope y'all enjoyed that episode. This is
and that is how you keyframe. So keyframing just adds motion to a steady shot, so it allows you to digitally zoom in, zoom out, left, right. It's really good, and you could mix and match them too. You can make them do left and down, you can make them do right and back. You could do a lot with it. So these are just the basic ways to keyframe, and so it makes your videos look just that much more cinematic. So I'll be catching y'all on the next lesson, where we'll go over how to add text to your video. Catch y'all in the next one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this lesson, we are going to go over how to add text to your video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. First things first, at the top right, we're going to go and change our workspace to captions and graphics. Cool. So now that we're in this workspace, on the right side, we can go to browse. We're going to keep this up here just to keep as a safekeeping. Basic title is one of our go-tos. We can go ahead and star that if you see it in your area, or if not, you can type it in basic, and then it should pop up there. You can just star that because that's one of the things we're going to be using. And next, the next thing we're going to do, Adobe Premiere is able to transcribe your videos. If you're speaking in your videos, if you have talking in videos, Adobe Premiere transcribes those clips and automatically puts in what the word says into Adobe Premiere. Sometimes it works really well, other times, like I would say probably like 20% of the time, it doesn't. And unfortunately for us, this is one of those moments where it didn't do it correctly. So we can see, I don't start off saying my home city in Inglewood, California. See, listen.
Now today we are in.
It's now today, but as I'm saying it, it's transcribing it as this. Now it's almost correct, but it's not all the way there. So if this happened to you too, what we're going to do is go to the original clips and transcribe those clips. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the main project here, and then we're going to go down to all projects, bring down Yak Hilltop Vlog clips, and then we're going to bring down clips, and then we're going to drag the first clip onto the timeline like that. And then we're going to scroll over and we're going to drag our, actually we're going to find clip 18 right here, and we're going to drag that onto the timeline too. So it seems like Adobe had already transcribed my clips. Transcribing is just speaking in your clips, and then it puts the text to it. So it already transcribed everything. Matter of fact, really quickly, I'm just going to zoom out. We don't want it to be that close, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and scale that up to 50, and then do the same here. We're going to scale this up to 50 just so it could look more comfortable. Don't want y'all all up in the grill piece there. Next, we're going to go to text. So it already transcribed everything. It's Joshua. We're going to just change this to Joshua, not Joshua. And from here, it has transcribed everything already. So now what we can do, let's go ahead and fix. So sometimes it doesn't get the words exactly right.
So I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. This is Joshua of Yak Productions.
Yeah, so we put of Yak Productions. We just got to delete that. So we got to make little tweaks here and there. Yak Productions of Yak Productions, aka Yak Academia. And there we go. And all of it is now transcribed. So what we can do now is match our original clip in the beginning. We started off when saying,
now today we are in.
Now today. So this seems a little complicated, but just follow my lead. So we're gonna go to the beginning of this clip here, and we're gonna see where we start at, right?
Now today we are.
So we start at now today, but keep in mind the captions here is off. So we're gonna have to just quickly do that. And keep in mind, this is like the worst case scenario. This never happens like ever, but it just happened to happen with us. So what we're gonna do is make sure we click up here where it says automatically set in out points. Make sure it's highlighted with that little halo around it. This is how it looks when it's disabled. Make sure you have it enabled like that. So in that way, when we go down to find it here, where we say now today we're in my hometown, this is where we want to start at. So we're going to highlight all of this. It should create in and out points on the timeline here, and we're going to press delete or backspace if you're on Windows. Bam. And once we do that, let's see.
Now today we are.
Yeah, so it says now today. There's a little bit of extra space here. We can click that. It even pops up here, and then we can just press delete on the timeline. See that? It's all there. Click that and delete, just like so. And now
today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Now it is not needed, but it's recommended that you also have.
So yeah, we're gonna eliminate all of that again, just like how we did earlier. So we're gonna take all that, and then we're going to delete that, and we're going to start it off where I say without further ado. Let's go ahead and go back to the beginning. Let's see if that says the same thing there. Let's see.
Without further ado,
yes, so it says without further ado. We're going to go back to this one. It seems like a lot, but sometimes you got to jump through these hurdles. So we're going to delete that and we're just going to do without further ado, just like that, and then delete this little second piece right there.
Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
So we have the same exact thing as before, just now we can put subtitles on it. So that's cool. So that's the intro. Let's do the outro. I think we started it off. Let's see where we started it off at. So going back to this part, let's see.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode.
I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Now let's go back to this one that we put in the timeline. And then there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. So right here, we can click and hold and drag all that and then delete that. There we go. And then we're going to delete this part again. Bam. And we're going to start off here.
So I hope y'all enjoyed that episode.
Let's see. Is that the same as this one?
I hope y'all enjoyed that.
Now we just jump right into I hope y'all enjoyed. All right, so we're gonna do here and delete that. So let's go ahead and highlight that and delete.
I hope y'all enjoyed that.
There we go. So now we can simply go ahead and replace these clips. So this original one, we're going to delete it, and then we're going to bring this over here like that, and there we go. This is the one that's transcribed. Let's see.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode.
That's perfect. All right, and now what we're going to do in this one, since this is nested, what we're going to do is jump into it. We're going to double click that nested sequence, and then we are going to go back to Yak's Hilltop Vlog, and then we're going to copy, press Command C, and then we're going to go into the nested sequence here, and then we're going to press Command V, bam, and then we're just going to replace that clip right here, just like that. And it went over a little bit, so we're going to take that down to this point here, and now it's transcribed. So all of it is transcribed. So as we
now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California,
and there we go, much better. In fact,
now today we are in my home city of.
Now we have it all there. Now let's see, what is this little thing? What is this?
Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
All right, yeah, so now we can go ahead and delete this one. You might have to replay this video just a couple more times because I know this is a lot, but once you get it down, you'll see why we have to jump through these hurdles. Now in the beginning, what we usually do in the beginning of all of our videos is we go ahead and transcribe it as the first thing we do. Now we jump straight into just doing the sub sequences and all that stuff, but instead this time we jump right into sub clipping, but we should always do transcriptions first. Let's go ahead and get back to it. Let's delete this one, and then this part right here.
Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. We're going to replace that with this one so we can delete that, and then we're going to drag this one over here. Should fit perfectly, just like that. And let's see.
On your iPhone. Without further ado.
So it's a little gap here. You got to pay really close attention. We're going to delete that right there. Perfect. So now, whew, oh man, I hope y'all got some water. I hope y'all got some refreshments, because this episode right here, this lesson was a lot. And it's usually really easy. It's just that sometimes, you know, what doesn't kill you make you stronger, for real. All right, so now let's go ahead and listen to it.
Now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
That's good. That's good. And then let's click this. Let's see how far we go.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. This is Joshua of yak.productions, aka Yakademia, for this segment. We out. Check you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, so I'll say Yakademia. That's another word for Yak Academia. So we could just minimize that, Yakademia, just like that. Bam, clean. We finally got it to where we can actually put it into the timeline. That took about 10 minutes. So it just also shows you that if something is wrong, it is not over. We went through the hurdles of fixing it, and now it's done, which is good. So now next, what we're gonna do, we could go ahead and eliminate that Yak intro nested. Now what we're gonna do at the top left here, as I can see, I'm exhausted. At the top left here, we're going to do create captions, and yours should pop up something like this. Let's see, subtitle default. We're going to make sure it's subtitle default. Format, we're going to make sure it's at subtitle. Bam, just like that. Style, we don't have a style yet, but we can create those. And maximum length in characters, what we're going to do is minimize that down to 29. And then we're going to do minimum duration in seconds down to 2.9, just like that. And then lines single. Now, before we press create captions, we're going to go up to these three dots at the top right. We're going to do that, and then we're going to save these current settings as a preset. We're going to name this one Yak Subtitle Preset 1, and then click that check right there. And now every time we open this up, it will already have our preset set to 29, 2.9, and single. So create captions. We don't have a style yet, but we're just going to create that later. We're going to do create captions. Bam, just like that. And here we go. Now we have captions. We have text in our video.
Now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California.
Okay, so everything so far so good. Now when we say let's jump right into it, this kind of stays here, so we're going to minimize that to the end of this video, just like that. Perfect. Now we're going to zoom out and then go here, and this looks good. That looks good to me. All right, so in order to change the style, let's go ahead and make our own style. Now here we are going to click the first one, the first caption at the top here. Click that, and on the right side, if we are still in captions and graphics, on the right side, we're going to see that we can change up the style of this here. Let's go ahead, and first we're going to change the text. It's at Myriad Pro for me. Let's go ahead and change that to, this font we're looking for is Montserrat. This one is cool. And then now we can go ahead and bold that. Is bold. And now we can go down here in appearance. We have fill check marked. And now we're going to also do stroke, just like that. We're going to change the stroke to black. Just go ahead and do it like that, just like that. That's cool. And from there, we can go ahead and up this at the top right here under Montserrat next to regular. It's at 48. We're going to boost that up to about 55. Perfect. So now we can save this as a style. At the top right here where it says track style, we can press this plus sign and then we can do create style. And this one, we're going to do yak, Y-A-K, style 1, just like that. Save to project, save to local styles, and save that. And now we have all these as styles. So now we're gonna click on the timeline. We're gonna press the minus button a couple times. And now we're going to drag, hold, highlight all of these. And now we're going to change it to the yak style. We're gonna change it there. And let's see, did it change? All of our subtitles are now in the yak style that we just created. Perfect. So now if you want your subtitles to kind of pop out at you, we can do that too. Let's go ahead, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna select all of these here again. And now at the top right, graphics and titles, we're gonna click that. And then we're gonna do upgrade caption to graphic. Click that. And it's going to update it to a graphic. It's going to put it on the timeline other than the subtitle. And now here's where we can get creative. We can add keyframes to this thing. So the first thing we're going to do is zoom in to the first one. We're going to go to the beginning of this subtitle text right here. We're going to double click it. And then we're going to go up at the top left to effect controls. Here is where we're going to animate our text just to give it a little pop, right? So here we're going to press this toggle animation, same thing as we did before as keyframes. We're going to click that, and then we're going to go with on our keyboard with our arrow key to the right. We're going to go right 1, 2 frames, and then we're going to boost that up to 104, right? And then we're going to go ahead and just click anywhere. It's going to make its own thing, and let's see how that looks. Now to see, it boosts out a little bit. So we're going to go back to that keyframe here, and we're going to go 1, 2 again, and then we're going to reduce that back down to 102. Press return or enter, and now today it kind of pops out. You see, if we look here again, it's going to pop. Now to really subtle, but it does make an impact. So now what we're going to do is click motion, and then we're going to press Command C. For Windows, it's going to be Control C. And then we're going to click the timeline, zoom out with the negative key, the minus key, and we are going to highlight all of these, and then we're going to press Command V or Control V, and it's going to paste all the settings that we just did for those keyframes on every single video. So when we play it,
now today we are in my home city of Inglewood,
nice
California.
Little pop, you know
we're
what I'm
going
saying?
to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae, here in Inglewood, California.
So that's how you do little pops. Typically I use a different font and a different style, but for this video we're going to just stick with this style. We can make it to where it pops even faster. We could do a lot of things with it, but just for the sake of this video, I'm showing you guys how to do it in the most standard way. So there we go. We have these popping in.
Now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California.
Yep, so just like that. So let's go ahead and drag all these down some because it's a little too high. We're gonna go ahead and drag that down. And there we go. Now we can see all 4 video channels. And if we can go ahead and delete this 5th video channel by deleting track, right clicking at empty space, deleting this track. There we go. Perfect. We have subtitles throughout all the speaking shots. So in order to make this easier for yourself, and in order for me to make it easier for myself in the future, what we want to do is transcribe these clips before we put it on a timeline, before we start cutting, because sometimes Adobe can't catch up. So what we do is put it in the timeline first, transcribe it, then trim it down that way. So that is the way to go in order to save us some time, but this is rare, and now we know how to fix it if this happens to you. So that is how you add subtitles on to your videos when you're speaking. And titles, let me just show you guys how to do a quick title. So we're going to go ahead and click browse on these Citrus graphics. We can drag and drop a title here, anywhere on the thing, right? So right here, let's say if we want to put Hilltop, California, we can put that here on our title. We could double click that, and then we could put Hilltop. We could change the font. Well, we got to highlight it all. We could change the font. Let's say, I don't know, let's say Myriad Pro, but we want to change it to bold, and then we want to up it like this. We could do that. and it's not really how I would like it to be, but you know what I'm saying, it just shows you what you can do. But that's also how you do titles too. Basic titles go a long way. You have a lot more customization. Really cool. All right, so that does it for this lesson. This lesson was a hefty one, but we got through it, and I will check y'all on the next lesson, where we will finally be editing in audio tracks and sound effects. So now it's gonna really sound like a really good video. So I'm gonna catch you on the next lesson. See y'all soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this lesson, we are going to learn how to add music and sound effects into our video. Now, next, we are going to, with the downloaded effects pack that you have downloaded, we're going to be adding music in here. We're going to go over to project here at the bottom left, and then we're going to drag down all effects, and then drag down all yak effects, and then we're going to drag down the music, right? So let's see here. Let's see if we have any lo-fi. There it is, lo-fi beats. Let's see this one. What is this video, bro? What the heck? Better yet, we're just gonna listen to the audio part. We clicking the audio. That video is throwing me off. So this is good for the speaking part when I'm speaking. This is cool, but it's a little too relaxed. But let's just see how it sounds. Let's drag and drop it onto here, and we drag and dropped it onto the audio track number 3. So we're actually going to put it on audio level 2 right under. And
now today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe owned by Issa Rae here in Inglewood,
I don't know.
And I was
this song is too sad. We have so many different options here. Let's go instrumentals. We have tons of instrumentals. We could probably go ahead and use God's Plan. Let's see.
Show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
So right when it does that, we could jump to that beat hit, and the beat hits about right here. So we could drag that on down this way. Let's see. And let's see how that sounds, and
right into it.
That works. You know, the producer of God's Plan is solid. I'm not gonna lie, it's a solid track. All right, so we're just reducing it to right when the beat hits about right here. We're gonna start it off with that clip, and then we're gonna drag the rest out here like this. Bam. All right, now let's see.
Let's just jump right into it.
Nice. All right, that's not bad at all. All right, so we're gonna drag the end, because that's way longer than how we want it to be. We're gonna drag that onto that part right here, and then we're also going to run that down to right here like that, and then we're going to click at the end here and zoom in, and then this right here, this is our exponential fade. We could have it do that there, and let's see how that sounds.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. This is Joshua of yak.productions, aka Yakademia, for this segment. We out. Check you on the next one.
All right, so that's one way of doing it. That is one way of doing it. We have to actually bring it in slowly here. This is the exponential fade. Start off with an exponential fade in the beginning. So
now today we are in my home city of
that works. I mean,
now today we are in.
All right, yeah, that kind of works. I mean, this isn't the track that I would want per se, but we'll be here for hours if we try to find a correct track. But this is just so I can show you guys how to edit. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go to this left side here. We're gonna drag this down so that we can see the audio track a lot more, and we're going to do points. So points with sound is very important. It allows for you to bridge the sound, much like how we do exponential fade, but we have more control over it. So we're going to zoom in about right here, and then we're going to press P, and it's going to change our mouse to be a little pen tool. So we're going to do this here at the beginning of when the bass drop hit, and then we're going to do this here like right there, where like right before the bass drop too. We're going to put V as in Victor, and then we're going to bring this audio level down to about 5.3. So in that way, when it's playing,
get started with shooting video on your iPhone.
It's really low, and then right when it jumps to, then it gets loud. So now it gets loud on that point, and then we are going to do the same thing here. So instead of this exponential fade, this is just a quick way. Now we're going to do the more advanced way. we're going to press P again right here. And always remember, if you guys ever mess up, just press Command Z or Control Z to undo whatever you did. And now we're going to do a point about right there, and then do another point here right before that little sound right there happens. And then we're going to press V as in Victor, and then now we're going to bring this down. And as you can see, it's creating like a ramp to where the sound ramps down to where it's not as crazy. So let's see.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode.
Nice.
This is Joshua of yak.productions.
Cool. All right, now we can go ahead and we can keep a little bit of that exponential fade at the end, just like that. And there we go. So now, since we hear that the sound is a little more louder than the actual speaking audio, what we're gonna do is highlight this track here, all of these speaking clips that's right here. We're gonna highlight those, and then like we did before in the other lesson, we're gonna press G, and we're gonna bring that audio gain up. As we can see, the peak is at -4.3. Let's just say we're gonna take it up to 5. We're gonna bring it up to 5 so it could be at +0.7. So I think that's cool. Now let's listen.
Now today we are in my
So now
home
that's
city
a
of
little better.
California.
That's a little
We're
better.
going to be going to
Now let's see what happens at the end. Let's see how it sounds.
Joshua of yak.productions, aka Yakademia, for this segment.
So we can see that the audio levels of the song is still more. So we can go ahead and highlight and increase these again for a G, pressing G. And let's increase it by, let's say 8. Hopefully that works. So let's go ahead and listen.
Episode. This is Joshua of yak.productions, aka Yakademia, for this segment.
So now my audio levels is higher than the music audio level. So that's kind of what we want here. We could do it by lowering the music levels or by heightening the speaking levels. So just to show you guys how to do it, but more so I'm going to stick around 6, and I'm going to lower the music volume to around a -8.5. Let's see. That's fine with me. And yes, that is how you add music into your video, and how you play around with the audio levels a little bit too. So in that way, it's not overblown when you don't want it to be, and that is perfectly the way you want the audio sound to be. So I hope you learned something new, and I'll catch y'all in the next lesson where we will go over adding green screen effects to the video. So I'm gonna catch y'all on the next lesson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this lesson we'll be going over how to add green screen effects to your videos the proper way. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right, so we're back where we left off at, and what we're going to do here is we're going to go to project, and then we're gonna make sure that we go to all effects and all green screens. Now let's go ahead and listen and watch some things throughout this video to see what type of green screen effects we want to add. So right here, I can see we can make like a little effect here. So I'm thinking of, I don't know, maybe like a little spark or something, right? What we're gonna do in order to see all of the green screen previews is we're going to double click the all green screens folder here. And then down here, we're going to do it at icon view. So in that way, we can get the previews of what these things look like. We scrub through it. Really cool here, man, really cool. So now we can just scroll through. We have about 111 different green screen effects here. And right here, yes, cartoon green screen right here. So we want to do like something that has a little flash, right? Let's see, like a little spark, like right here. Cool. So this is actually one of the ones I had used in a couple of my videos, and it is really, really clean. So the endpoint, if you guys want to follow along, is at 7 seconds and 12 milliseconds, and the out point is at 7 seconds and 22 milliseconds. So what we can do is go ahead right here, drag video only over this part right here, and we'll put that there. So as we see, when we put it, it's going to
Cafe, owned by Issa Rae.
see it, the green screen overshadows the
Cafe,
actual video,
owned by Issa Rae.
and that's not what we want at all. So what we're gonna do is at the top right in workspaces, we're gonna change it to effects to give us all the things that we can do in effects, right? So in the most used folder that you've created, mine is frequently used, we are going to add ultra key. So you can find it by typing in here ultra key, and right here it will be here in video effects keying. So we're going to drag that onto the green screen effect there. All right, so in the left side, the top left, we're going to see ultra key. We're going to go down to the key color, and we are going to click this little baster, and then we're going to do that baster right here, and it's going to immediately get rid of that green right there. Perfect, right? So now that is how, it's really simple. That's how you do green screen effects. So output, we're going to keep it at composite, and settings, we're going to make it aggressive so it can get rid of all the extra excess green that is right there. I like to go aggressive the majority of the time, but probably about like 25% of the time is best to keep it at default. But for this one, we're doing aggressive. So now right there, we're going to scale it up a couple points, click, hold, drag it, and about right there. So now let's see.
Cafe owned by Issa Rae.
Nice. See? It just gives it more personality. Love it. I'll say the part with my wife. I will probably, let's see if we have any hearts or anything. Let's see if we have a heart green screen. So let's go down and let's do icon view again. Let's see if we have anything with a heart. A Minecraft heart. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. So we're going to go ahead and drag and drop this onto that part. Be careful, because if we were to drag and drop it on, let's say video, let's say if we were to drag and drop it on video track number 3, it will cancel out all the little things that we had there. So we don't want to do that. Let's go ahead and press Command Z again. So what we're going to do is subclip this, right? So at 1 second, we are going to do this mark in, and then we're going to at about 2 seconds 22 do mark out, and I'm going to drag that onto this little piece right here. Nice. And now what we're going to do is the same thing we did before. We are going to go to Ultra key. We can type it in here and drag and drop, or if you saved it, you can go ahead and save it to where it's easy. And now we're going to go to the top left here, and then we're going to do that baster effect again, and we're going to put it right there, just like that. And we're going to put it on aggressive, just like that. And now in motion, this is another way we can do it. We could click motion, and we could press H on our keyboard, and we can drag it around. So we could put it about right here. That'll be fine. Like about right there. That's cool. And now we can press V again to go back to our mouse, and let's check it out.
Just get started with shooting video on your iPhone.
Nice. That was pretty cool. So it kind of overlaid a little bit more on this side. That's because right here, as we can see, it overlaid. So let's just rewind that back, and there we go. So now those
shooting
are
video on your iPhone.
Green screen effects, right? That's how we do a couple of green screen effects. Now, probably going to keep it just like that, just for the sake of this video, just to show you guys that that is how you go ahead and add green screens. You could exit out of this. Anytime you want to find something specific within any of these folders, you can click the search bar and you can type it in and it will pop up. Now let's say if we are in our project tab, we can search up anything in here. We could type in music, and it'll take us to the music bin with all of our music. We could type in anything and it'll automatically find it in our folders, which is really dope. It's a really good feature. Now 20% of the time it doesn't work in certain sequences. I don't know why, but that happens sometimes. But when it does work, it's perfect. So like I said before, Adobe Premiere, it isn't all the way perfect, but you know, there are some ways to work around it. So that is how you add green screens, just like as you can see here. Some pretty cool green screen effects there. I don't really think we're gonna add any more going forward, but if we do, I will add that in. All right, so that does it for the green screen effects lesson. So in the next lesson, I'm going to show you guys what adjustment layers are and why they are important to use. So catch you on the next one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this lesson, I'm going to show you guys what adjustment layers are and why they are so important. First things first, let's go ahead and at the bottom left here, this little paper icon, which is new item, we're going to click that and we're going to go to adjustment layer. Now we want to just double check all of it is good. We did it at a 1920 by 1080 framed sequence, so it matches 30 frames per second. All of these match the same settings as the sequence, so we're going to press OK. There we go. And now what we're going to do is on the right side on the timeline, now we're going to right click and we're going to do add track. So the adjustment layer is going to be on its own track number 5. All right, so we're going to drag and drop this adjustment layer on top, and here we can see that it is there, but nothing really changed at all. So an adjustment layer is just an empty block that allows you to customize it so it can affect anything that's under it. As we explained before, any video that is above another video gets the limelight. So let's go ahead and show you guys what I am talking about, right? So in this adjustment layer, we are going to look in our effects and we're going to look for Lumetri color. So Lumetri color, make sure you guys save that in your most used or frequently used folder. So now we're going to drag and drop this Lumetri color onto it, and it's going to pop up in our left side as Lumetri color. Basic correction is right here. And now we can change the color of this video without having to actually change the color of the actual video, right? So the adjustment layer allows us to do that. So let's go ahead, let's jack it up, right? So we're going to go ahead and change the contrast, right? Or boost up that contrast. This is just to show you guys what it looks like with an adjustment layer, right? So boost up the contrast. We're going to take down the blacks, we're going to take down the whites, and we're going to take down the shadows. Now this is just to show you that, you know, all of this isn't permanent. All this is only on the adjustment layer. So if we were to drag the adjustment layer away from where we're at, it looks like nothing happened, right? But wherever the adjustment layer is, whatever effects we did is going to affect the videos right under it. Let me actually bring it down closer down just for educational purposes. So wherever this adjustment layer is going to make whatever videos that's under it look the way we changed the color to, right? So if we move this out the way, there it is. So if we put it back, that's what the adjustment layer do. It's literally like putting a bubble shield around your videos, but you're able to write on that bubble. You're able to do anything you want on that bubble, right? So now let's go ahead and undo all of the nasty stuff that we did to that video, right? And let's actually, I don't think this really needs too much color correction because it was done on the iPhone. And I don't really think that we need to do anything extra, but if we did want to, we'll just drag this on out through and let's say that we wanted to add some highlights to it, right? Make it more brighter. We can go ahead and do that. And under this entire adjustment layer, the whole thing is going to be just that much more brighter. I'm just doing this to show you guys the effects and the power of an adjustment layer. Now we can do a lot more with adjustment layers, but that is one of the main things that I do with my adjustment layers, change the colors. So that is the adjustment layer lesson. So put adjustment layer on, you can mess around with it, go ahead and throw things on, put Lumetri color on it, you could go ahead and put other effects on it and then drag this adjustment layer out as much as you can. So for this video, like I said, we're not going to be changing colors, but if we shot on my Blackmagic, we will most definitely use an adjustment layer to change those colors. So that is what adjustment layers are and how you can utilize it so you do not change the color of your videos permanently. Just throw your colors all on an adjustment layer, and that way it does not affect your actual video. So that is a quick course on adjustment layers, and in the next video I'm going to show you guys how to properly export your videos into the correct folder and how to name it and all things that come with that. So catch you on the next lesson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we are in the lesson to where I'm going to show you guys how to properly export everything. So we like the way this video is. We know we have the music, we have everything the way it needs to be. Now, as you can see, this might look a little zoomed in. This is because right here, we need to change that to fit. Remember in the beginning, we had did that. It isn't fit, this isn't full. And now we like how this is looking. All of it is good. And what we're going to do is we're going to press X. Now, I haven't explained X yet. X is the in and out point of what you are going to export or what you are going to delete, but we're not going to delete this at all. So we press X, we're going to drag those out, right? Just like how we did there. So with all these things highlighted, we're going to press Command M as in Michael. So there we go. Nice shot of me tearing that sandwich up. And now this is the settings that we want to do, right? So destination media file, we could publish it on YouTube, Twitter, wherever we want to do, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we are going to use this file name. We're going to do it to Yak's Hilltop Vlog. We're going to do this as V1, as in version 1. And then we are going to click this right here where we want to set the location to. And then we are going to set that location here in videos for Adobe Premiere Pro. And then we're going to name this folder. So we're going to name that folder all exports, create that and save just like that. Preset, we're going to make sure we keep that at a match source at adaptive high bitrate. Then format, we're going to make sure that we keep that at H.264, which is another higher resolution version of MP4. Make sure we keep that. For video, we're going to keep that checked. It should all be like this, match my settings. Audio, just like this. We are going to do the audio format to MPEG, and then for MPEG we're going to make sure that's at 48,000. Stereo is on the channels, and then for channels we're going to make sure it's stereo. For audio layer, we're going to keep it MPEG 1 layer 1. Stereo mode, we're going to keep that normal. And now we just keep all the settings the way it is. Effects, There's no need to do anything for effects and metadata. We're going to keep it the way it is. So all of that is good to go. So now we have all of our settings here. File name is Yak's Hilltop Vlog V1. Location, we put it into that new folder, all exports. For a preset, we're gonna make sure we do match source adaptive high bitrate. And for format, we're going to make sure it's H.264. Video check, audio check, effects check, and metadata is checked too. We could even review those. Yeah, everything is good. Audio, it's at AAC. This is what the match source adaptive high bitrate automatically puts it to. Multiplexer, it's just showing the standard. This is, I believe, if we're streaming. Captions, we already put captions into our video, which is fine. Effects, we're just gonna keep that checked. And metadata, we just keep that checked too. And now what we're gonna do is export that, and it should take about a minute or two. All right, so it was exported successfully, as it says at the bottom right. And now we can go ahead and press Command S on this project, and it's gonna save everything we just did. And now we are going to check in our Finder where that video went. So we made that folder in Yak Videos for Premiere Pro and all exports, and here it is. This is the video that we had created, 57 seconds.
Now, today we are in my home city of Inglewood, California. We're going to be going to Hilltop Cafe, owned by Issa Rae,
Nice.
here in Inglewood, California. And I will show you guys how to just get started with shooting video on your iPhone. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
Nice. Okay, sounds good. So far, so good.
I hope y'all enjoyed that episode. This is Joshua of yak.productions, aka
Really quick.
Academia for this segment. We out. Check you on the next one. Peace.
And there we go. That is how to properly export your video to your file location, and how to properly name it to where you know what version it is and you know what it is, right? So in the next lesson, I'm going to show you guys what to do if you have misplaced some of your clips and you're trying to edit again, right? So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. All right, so catch y'all in the next lesson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this lesson, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like if you were to have moved or renamed your files and you're trying to open your save back up in Adobe Premiere, and Adobe Premiere is like, we can't find it, and it's all red. It looks all crazy. I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. All right, so this is why organizing and naming your files is one of the most important things ever. It's how it saves you so much money. We're going to go to our vlog folder here, right? So now let's say that we go ahead and rename, for whatever reason, this folder Yak's Hilltop Vlog Clips to Yak's Hilltop Vlog Clips. Let's put just some random stuff here, right? Bam. And now let's go ahead and open up the Premiere Pro. And now you might get a little thing here saying, yo, like these clips are missing, simply because you put just some random letters on the same name of that folder that everything was in. Now what you'll have to do is the most notable and most memorable video that's in there, which will be Yak's Hilltop Vlog Clips #1, which is the intro. We're going to click that, and then we're going to do locate. And then what I like to do sometimes is click display exact name matches. That's if I know that the actual name didn't change here. Or sometimes I keep it unchecked, which will, make it a little harder to find if your name was changed of the actual clip that you're trying to find. But anyways, what we're going to do is keep that checked, and then we're going to go exactly where we know it is. And then we double click that, and it is right here. Once you click OK, it's going to relink everything automatically. So now your media is all there, right? It takes a little second, but it's all here. So now let's go back again, right? Let's go back again. Let's change it to the original name, right? Let's change that to the original name, and then let's go back into Premiere Pro. And it's gonna be like, yo, where are these clips at? I can't find them. Where are they at? So now sometimes the prompt doesn't pop up for you to actually find them. So a way to do it is right clicking. Let's go ahead and right click this clip here. This is clips number 12. So we're going to right click, and then we're going to look for link media. So this is if that prompt doesn't pop up automatically. You're going to go to link media, and then you're going to find it just like how we did before, locate. and then we're going to go exactly to that same folder, display exact name matches, because we know that it's the same name. We're going to click that and we're going to click OK. So unfortunately it didn't relink all of them, so sometimes you will have to relink every single one of them. Now let's go ahead and do that. This freaking sucks. Matter of fact, let's see if we can go ahead and highlight all of these and then press right click and then link media, right? So all of these are highlighted, and now we're going to look for clip 18. We're going to locate that media. We're going to go back in here, and then we're going to click that one, which is the one that it is, and then click OK. And it will, wow, that really sucks. So unfortunately we will have to relink every single one manually. So let's go ahead and relink this one. This is the first one. Let's locate that, go ahead and do that. Bam. Yo, this is whack, bro. We got to relink every single one of these joints, man. All right, like that. So this is a very tedious process. However, sometimes we have to do it, and this is exactly why I say keeping your files named is so important. Keeping it organized is so important, because the last thing you want to do is have this problem when you have a gig or have an editing gig where these people are like, hey, we need this edit really quickly, and you're like, oh wow, I renamed all those files and I don't know where they are. That's the last thing you want to do ever, because now now it's adding more time. You got to find them again. This is why it's always good to keep everything named the way it should be. So we're going to relink all these one by one, and bam, we could double click it and it does it. Now let's see if we could just relink all of these together just like we did before. So 11, let's do 11. It should be here. Yep, 11. And then we're gonna do this one. This is 14. Bam, just like that. And then this one is 17. Double click that. So it basically kind of already knows where it is, but it's just acting really dumb. It's just acting like it don't know what it is. But we're going to go through the tedious process together, just in case if this happens to you. And we're going to locate that one. This is clip number 8. Bam. And this is clip number 9. Bam. And it should relink those ones. And now let's relink 18. Dude, yeah, this sucks. This is not fun. So this is exactly why you want to keep all of your stuff named and don't change the name frequently. So I know I may be a stickler for names, but make sure you keep all your things named correctly. All right, so now that is how you find your missing named folders and files. So if you change any type of name of it, just always remember where you had it originally. All right, one last example. We are going to change the name of the first one. So we're going to change the name of the last one just to show you guys what happens if you change the name of a particular one. We're going to put A at the end, right? So we rename the original file, which I don't ever do this if you already have it in there. Exit out and then click this, and this should not be able to find it. It's going to be like, yo, where is it at? So now you got to be like, look, bro, check it out. It's not the exact name, so we're going to unlink it. And it's going to show you up here too the last path it was found at and the path that you are in right now. Now right here we're going to go ahead and double click it. This is the one, and it found it, and it should be good to go. See, simple as that. This is why you keep the names that you have originally and do not change them. It is very important that you have that. So that is how to find your missing media in Adobe Premiere Pro. If you have misplaced it or moved it, it will always tell you at the top the original path that it was on. And that is how you find it. So I hope y'all enjoyed the Adobe Premiere Pro workshop. Any questions you have, be sure to ask those questions to me at my email at info@yak.productions. Please ask any questions, anything I may have missed. We'll go over it, and you can even send me a screenshot of what your page looked like, and then we'll go through it, and I will be sure to respond as quickly as I can. If you haven't checked out my photography workshop, go ahead and check that out. If not, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at yak.productions, YouTube at the same name, and I'll be catching y'all on the next video in the future. We'll catch y'all on the next one.